Lansing's only sports station. The Game, 7:30.
Let's play.
Good evening and welcome to the 9th and final week of the regular season for high school football in the state of Michigan and right here in mid-Michigan. I am Brock Palmbos. Glad you're joining us for the pregame show. We are brought to you in part all season long by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries. We got a lot to get to before we get to the top of the next hour. We got a big ball game in the CAAC Blue, the de facto championship game, although not quite, because if Grand Ledge beats East Lansing tonight, they get only a share of the championship. But if East Lansing beats Grand Ledge on the road, they are the outright CAAC Blue champions. Before we get to the game coverage, just before 7 o'clock from Grand Ledge, with yours truly and Erik Doc Love, we got interviews. First with East Lansing head coach Bill Farraco, followed by my interview with the veteran coach of Grand Ledge, Joe Bry, and then my two-part interview with Brian Calloway, the prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal and LSJ.com. But before we get to all of that, it's time for another edition of This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
The football regular season is winding down with playoffs on the horizon and an all-time first in MHSAA football history. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Welcome to Week 9 of the football season, the final week of the regular season. All across Michigan, schools are looking to get into the playoffs or earn home field advantage for at least one game. Let's run through how it all works. There are 8 divisions of 11-player football. The top 32 in each division will qualify for the playoffs, and that's based on a team's playoff points. From there, the 32 teams are grouped into 8 4-team districts. The team with the higher playoff points will host. District play starts October 27th with district finals the following week. After districts, we're down to 8 teams in each division, and they'll play regionals on either November 10th or 11th. Those winners advance to the semifinals on November 18th, and then it's on to Ford Field for the MHSAA Finals November 25th and 26th. Remember that those games are on Saturday and Sunday this year. For 8-player football, there are 2 divisions. 16 teams in each will qualify, and the MHSAA Finals are November 18th at the Superior Dome in Marquette. How do you know who makes the playoffs? Tune into the Selection Sunday show this Sunday at 6 p.m., airing live on Bally Sports Detroit Extra. And then after the show, brackets will be posted at MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, where we highlight a trio of standout performances from the last week. First, to Bullitt Creek senior Logan Corson. He scored 4 times in a soccer district win over Standish Sterling. The 4 give him 68 career goals, making him the school's all-time leading goal scorer. He's also their all-time leader in assists. South Lyon East Caitlin Berry. Her 15 kills in a match against South Lyon helped the Cougars to a 4-set win and a Lakes Valley Conference outright title. And at Kingsford, Elizen Roos. He ran for 330 yards and 6 touchdowns in a 41-32 win over Menominee. The win gives Kingsford at least a share of the West Pac Conference title.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
Today's You Make the Call takes us to the tennis court. We're in the middle of a volley when I hit a shot with a ton of spin on it. It goes over the net, bounces, and then spins back over the net towards me without being hit by my opponent. What's the call? My opponent never hit the ball, so I win the point. The same rule applies if it's wind, not spin, blowing the ball back over the net. My opponent could have returned my shot even if they had to reach over the net to do so, as long as they don't touch the net while returning. If my opponent hits the net in the process of returning my shot, it is also my point.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. Bear Lake's 8-player football team won for the first time this year on October 7th, a 26-0 victory over Baldwin. In doing so, their coach, Sam Mullet, became the first woman in MHSAA history to win a football game as head coach. Mullet took over Bear Lake this season, and she's a Lakers grad. She talked to state champs after the game.
The biggest thing I would say is be yourself. The boys can really see through when you're trying to be something that you're not. And they just really want authenticity, and they want someone that can help them win. And from the NFL to high school, I've never found anybody that questioned, what I look like, or that I'm a female. They just want to know, what are you going to do to help me win? Because ultimately that's the goal at every level, is how can we be successful?
Bear Lake closes out the season at Engadine. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Lansing Sports Station. The Game, 7:30 a.m.
Dowding Industries' presentation of high school football rolls on with more of the pregame, and we now have the 20th year head coach of the Trojans of East Lansing. He's Coach Bill Ferracco. Coach, thanks so much for coming on once again, and congratulations on this role that you've been on.
Thanks, Brock. It's a pleasure to be here, and we've got a major challenge coming up.
We'll get to Grand Ledge here in just a little bit, but let's talk about your team and what you did last Friday. You beat Holt 42-7 last Friday night, 472 total yards, but man, 386 yards rushing. I don't care if you're high school, college, pro, any level of college, NFL, 386 yards rushing. Chances are you're going to win.
Yes, and we want to run the ball. We also want to throw it, but our offensive line, which we felt coming into this year was going to be as they progress, was going to be a plus for us, and they're slowly moving into the groove a little bit. They're still a little bit of a work in progress, but the kids are intelligent, and they want to do well. So it all starts there, and we're blessed and fortunate that we have three running backs who are pretty explosive and have been in the program for a couple of years and understand what's being asked of them.
Well, let's talk about those running backs right now. Coming into the season, we knew about Jace Clarizio, who was a sophomore last year and played a whole bunch because of injuries to your senior running backs last year. Kanye Jackson was one of them, and he was injured, but that allowed a sophomore named Jace Clarizio, and he was absolutely outstanding last year. But then he gets hurt in either practice, or I think it was either that or the four-way scrimmage that you had, and missed a good portion of the season, a fair portion of the season, I should say. But who you got coming up behind him? A kid named Duarte Sams. Am I pronouncing his first name right?
Duarte.
Duarte. Okay, Duarte. Thank you.
I just call him Dua. So that's you can do that.
Duarte Sams. Dua. Okay. He's a junior, just like Jace Clarizio is, and all he's done, he's been outstanding for you. 205 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on 11 carries. That's being pretty efficient. Wow.
Dua has been doing a nice job for us. He's got great vision and explosiveness. He's not quite as fast as Jace is, but he creates the explosives that we're looking for, both in the pass game and the run game. So we're very, very happy with the progress that he's made.
Yeah, and, well, that's outstanding. That's outstanding, and he'll be back next year as well. I know Clarizio's been in and out of the lineup. Is he going to be available against Grand Ledge?
He will be available. We didn't play him last year. We thought it was prudent not to risk anything. He was had a little nagging thing going on during the week.
Sure.
And we just decided to have him sit and hope that the other fellows would pick up the pace after that, and they did.
So we've talked about Sams, we talked about Clarizzi. Who's your third running back? I don't even know about this kid.
Noah Lopez, who's
okay.
also our outside linebacker.
Gotcha.
And Deuce Shropshire would be the fourth one. They've all seen measurable action.
Wow, that's outstanding. Yeah, I remember Noah Lopez. Yeah, remember him from the basketball court. Your quarterback is Ben Fletcher. Wasn't asked to throw the ball a whole heck of a lot against Holt, 5 for 7 for 86 yards. But you got to like his development, and you really got to like the wide receiver, Charlie Baker. I remember him from basketball season. He was a real good basketball player on your quarterfinal team last year, but 4 catches, 68, and I've heard a lot of other people sing his praises as well. Talk about Fletcher and Baker before we get to the defense.
Ben is progressing nicely. Every once in a while, he hits a little bit of a lull as we try to expand the playbook just a little bit. But he's done a very, very nice job for us. We're very pleased with his progress, and we need for him to play well, for us to also play well. Charlie has great ball skills, and I know that sounds a little bit like a hyperbole, but
sure.
He has very, very good ball skills, and he goes and gets it. If you watched him play basketball, he's got a great sense for angles and leverage and rebounds in b-ball very, very well, and he goes up and gets it. And once again, last year, he played behind, didn't play behind. He was in a couple of our personnel groupings and did a nice job as a junior. And we expected him to step up and help us in the pass game, and he's done that.
Bill Farraco, the 20th year head coach for the East Lansing Trojans, on the pregame show. All right, let's get to the defense. You held Holt to 129 total yards. And this team, playing really, really good defense. Talk about the guys on defense. First, how many guys play both offensive and defense?
I think we have 5 that go both ways. And there's a couple of kids that spell just a little bit. But we have 5. And then with our personnel groupings on offense, the kids get a break on offense who start at the corners and at safety. So, we've got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, really, to compete with Grand Ledge and really to compete with anybody week in and week out. So we're looking to do that, and our front with Javon Thomas and Jay Carnegie is holding their own relatively well. We had a couple injuries there early in the season, so. Donnie Royals has stepped in and done a nice job, and Deuce Shropshire has also done a nice job for us on the edges. So we're looking to hopefully penetrate and cause some disturbance on the front. And then our linebackers, Duwa's brother Isaiah Sams has come along very, very well as a junior linebacker, and our senior Julius Godwin has done a nice job commanding the calls and getting people in position to play.
Coach, your opponents are one of your arch rivals, the Comets of Grand Ledge. Like you, they are 6-2 on the season, and they're 4-1 in the CAAC Blue. Only a close loss to DeWitt is why they're not undefeated in league play. This is for the outright league title for you guys, and they're playing for a share of the league championship with at least you and possibly DeWitt. So this is a big ball game. Talk about the Comets of Grand Ledge.
Very well coached, very, very consistent. Their scheme offensively has done a great job in running the ball primarily. Got banged up a little bit at quarterback during the year, and we think that one of the kids that got hurt earlier in the season may be back, so that will serve them well. A nice pair of running backs. One is a young kid, number 28. I'm sorry, I don't
Anthony
know his name,
Baker.
Nice ball player. And their offensive line does a very nice job, very well coached, you can tell. And then defensively, their scheme is sound, and they're at times extremely active. So we're going to have to take care of the football first of all from our offensive side, and get into them and see if we can move around and find out what we can do against them, and then enact that game plan and make sure that we do or take what they give us.
I hear you, Coach Farraco. Coach Bill Farraco in his 20th season for the Trojans of East Lansing High School. Coach, thanks so much. I would have asked you one or two keys, but you just said it. So, not turning the ball over. It's usually pretty much the standard stuff. Not turning the ball over on offense and, limit the penalties as much as possible. Is that fairly accurate? Yeah. We've been very, very concerned with our unforced errors. Okay.
So I'm not talking about things that like holding and things that just happen in an aggressive way.
Right.
Just, jumping off sides and not paying attention to assignments. So we've got to ratchet that up a bit.
Coach Farraco, thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck tonight, and best of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much, Brock. Pleasure to be here.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, The Game, 7:30 a.m., WVFN, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
WVFN.
Dowding Industries' presentation of high school football continues the pregame show with the fifth-year head coach for the Comets of Grand Ledge. He's Coach Joe Bry. Coach, thanks so much for coming on once again.
Thanks for having me.
Nice rebound win for you last Friday after losing a couple straight to DeWitt, which was a really close game, and then got beat pretty badly on the road at Lapeer. Nice win over Okemos, 49-0. You got a lot of players. A lot of players got some action. Pretty much a confidence boost for your team, considering the two losses before that.
It was a good game for us. I thought a lot of kids contributed. We got a lot of guys some minutes, and that's huge for your program. Being able to get guys some reps, especially later on in the season here, because that certainly helps your depth as you go forward.
Coach, got to ask you about the quarterback situation. We know about the quarterback injuries. We've talked about it. It has been talked about, rather. You've played your fourth-string quarterback. Literally fourth-string quarterback, Gavin Wajenki. He was solid, rushing touchdown, 4 for 6 for 56 yards and a touchdown. But one of your other backups, Preston Bonet, who got hurt in the DeWitt game, he's going to be coming back, it looks like?
Yes, I think Preston should be good to go this week. So that'll give us a boost offensively, but Gavin's done an excellent job for us as well. Certainly not a position that you want to be in as a team, but we're blessed to have a lot of depth in our quarterback room, and all of our quarterbacks have played well for us this year when they've been called on.
Well, another position where you've been pretty good is at running back as well. I got to tell you, I've seen this ninth grader, Anthony Baker, a couple of times this year. I am so impressed with him, and I've talked with other people around the Grand Ledge program, and they're very impressed with him. Shows a lot of potential down the road, and I tell you what, as a ninth grader playing varsity, not necessarily starting, but playing an awful lot, very, very impressive so far.
Anthony's done a very good job for us. Done a nice job. He's shown a lot of maturity moving to the varsity level this year, and been a very consistent performer for us, and our offensive line's done a nice job of opening some holes for him.
Joe Bry, fifth-year head coach for the Comets of Grand Ledge. You haven't started or played, too many freshmen during your time coaching, whether it's Grand Ledge or Eaton Rapids, have you?
No. Anthony's got to be, I think, the first freshman that has seen in my years of coaching that has seen that much playing time on varsity, and it shows a lot about him and his maturity level, both as an athlete and as a person.
Coach, playing Okemos, getting a lot of backups in there. I see Mason Myers blocked a punt, and Colin Flynn, who's not your regular kicker, he hit all 7 extra points. That's pretty good right there. Talk about those two kids, and talk about guys on your defense that have played well most of the season anyway.
Mason Myers did an excellent job for us, another underclassman up on varsity for us as a sophomore linebacker, and did have a huge play in that Okemos game with the block punt. Colin Flynn, another underclassman for us on varsity as well. started out the year as our starting kicker and actually had suffered an injury right before our first game. And so I was really happy for him that he was able to get some time out on the field and be able to get some game repetitions because he has an excellent kicker and he's put a lot of hard work into it. And so very happy for him that he had his moment last week.
Coach Joe Bry in his 5th season for Grand Ledge joining us here on the pregame show. This is a big game for you coming up against East Lansing, and we'll talk about your opponents here in just a minute. But this is a big game for you for 2 different reasons. One, if you win, you get a share of the CAAC Blue Championship with at least East Lansing and possibly DeWitt. And also, looking at the playoff points rankings this week, you're ranked 21st in Division I. You get a win here, you'll obviously move up and possibly get a home game in round number 1. That's kind of important, don't you think?
Absolutely. Huge game for us. Anytime you get an opportunity to play for a piece of the championship as we have this week, it's a big game, and then certainly playoff implications as well. So big game for us, and last home game for our seniors here. So it's a big game, and anytime Grand Ledge and East Lansing play, frankly, it's a big game. It's been that way for a lot of years, and so really makes sense to have a championship riding on the line.
How many seniors you got on your roster?
17, I believe.
17. Okay, so you got a lot of seniors on your roster. Coach Joe Bry joining us here on the pregame show, the 5th-year head coach for the Comets of Grand Ledge. Your opponents, well, you just talked about them a little bit, the Trojans of East Lansing. They are undefeated in CAAC Blue play. They beat Holt last Friday 42-7. They suffered a couple of early losses, but they have rolled since then. They are looking really, really good right now. And like you, they've suffered some injuries this year. Their top running back, Jace Clarizio, a junior, has been in and out of the lineup all season long, but they just roll out their next running back, Duete Sams Jr. All he did was rush for 205 yards and 3 touchdowns against Holt last Friday night, and he's had an outstanding season for Coach Bill Farraco.
You said it best right there, Brock. A team with a lot of talent offensively, especially in the backfield. Been really impressed from what we've seen from East Lansing. I think in all my years of coaching, their trio of running backs has got to be, if not the best, right up near the top. From an offensive backfield standpoint, just explosive, a lot of speed, run the football hard. They're just fun running backs to watch, and so it's going to be a huge challenge for us.
And their quarterback really wasn't asked to throw very much against Holt because they ran for almost 400 yards rushing. Ben Fletcher's very good as well, 5 for 7 for 86 yards. And Charlie Baker is a good basketball player, 4 catches for 68. And on defense, well, they held Holt to 129 total yards. Pretty complete team right now. I think they're the best 2-loss team in the area and one of the best 2-loss teams in the state.
Oh, I definitely agree with you. They've definitely hit their stride here throughout the second half of the season. Been very impressed with their quarterback. Throws a nice ball, and certainly you mentioned Baker, their wide receiver. He's going to be, if not one of the best in the state of Michigan, certainly the top in our area in terms of being able to go up and get the football. Does an excellent job blocking as well. So very high-powered offense can be a huge challenge for our defense.
And finally, Coach, before I let you go here, I always ask, what are 1 or 2 keys for a big Grand Ledge home win and to get a piece of that CAAC Blue Championship?
I think we're going to need to be excellent on special teams. I think anytime you're playing in a big game like this with a lot of implications, special teams can have to be the difference. I think defensively we need to do an excellent job of limiting the explosive plays. As I mentioned, East Lansing, very high-powered offense. I think it's going to be very important for our defensive backs to keep the ball in front of us. And then certainly offensively taking care of the football and making sure that we're not turning the ball over is going to be huge.
He's the 5th-year head coach for the Comets of Grand Ledge. They are 6-2 on the season, 4-1 in the CAAC Blue. Coach Joe Bry, thanks so much for coming on. Best of luck tonight, and hopefully best of luck in the playoffs.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 730 AM WVFN, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries. Joining us now on the pregame show, he is the prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal and LSJ.com. He is Brian Calloway, and we got to highlight 2 games while we recap week number 8 in this segment. The game we were at, Portland at Sexton, just a shocking score to me. I mean, Sexton has played great almost the entire season. They've really only had one, well, I guess there are a couple of close games. The Everett game in week 1 was close. They've been had some competitive games as well, but I was absolutely shocked. I picked Sexton to win the game, and after the first quarter, they really weren't in the game. They just, Portland just really put it to them with a, like I said, shockingly dominant performance, 41-0 on the road.
Yeah, no, definitely a dominant performance from Portland. And, you look back at that game and, you wonder if things would have turned out differently or would have been closer if, Sexton converts on that opening drive of the game when they marched down the field pretty easily on Portland, just moving the ball with the pass and got down to the 2-yard line before a bad snap pushed them back. And then they fired an incomplete pass on 4th down and came away with nothing there. But, what happens if Sexton's able to punch it in on that opening drive of the game? And, obviously it gives the game a much different feel. But, Portland obviously, showed why, they've been such a dominant program, over the years. And, Coach John Navarro continues to do a great job with that program as well, too, having them in these positions on a yearly basis.
Yeah, Sexton had trouble. You talked about the bad snap. It was bad snaps. They had at least 5 bad snaps, and it just seemed to affect them. And when Sexton got down, it seemed like the whole team got down, mentally. You could see it. They were hanging their heads when they went into halftime. And I'm just very surprised. I don't think Sexton's nearly as bad as they showed last Friday night. But, hey, give credit Portland, and, you did. Dominic Navarro only completed like 4 or 5 passes in the game, and yet 2 of them were for touchdowns.
Yeah, and they almost had a 3rd touchdown pass, too. I thought that, it might have been a little bit pass interference on one of the plays that he threw late when he almost threw another touchdown pass, but he was definitely very effective, with what he was able to do as well, too. He's done a good job as his first year, playing starting quarterback for his father.
Yeah, definitely. Dominic Navarro, we're talking about the Portland quarterback. Okay, got to talk about the other main game. Another very surprising score, almost a shocking score. Mason, we know they're the best team in the area. You and I and a lot of other people believe that they are in the mid-Michigan area this season. But they may be the best team in the state in Division III. They went to number 2 Walled Lake Western and won easily, 30-7 behind Case and Carswell, A.J. Martell, and the terrific Mason Bulldog defense. Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah, this is a team that, has been on a mission all season. Obviously, they, got a taste of the state semifinals the last 2 years and came up short, but, this year there's just that extra motivation for this group, and a lot of them are seniors as well, too. When you look at the likes of an A.J. Martell, Caleb Parrish, Tyler Baker, Derek Badgley, and so many of those other guys. So this is a group that's motivated. They made some big plays as well, too. Caleb Parrish had a big touchdown catch before the end of the first half that was very big and, helping Mason to take, I think it was a 16-7 lead or something like that into the break. And then obviously we're able to build upon that in the second half as well, too. But, yeah, a very impressive performance for them to go on the road to face a team as good as Walled Lake Western and to do what they did. And it's definitely something that bodes well for them heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, they head to Fenton this week. We'll talk about that game in the next segment. But we're speaking with Brian Calloway, prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal, LSJ.com. Ho-hum, another year in the CMAC, another outright league championship for Pewamo, Westphalia. They took care of a pretty good Saranac team, 40-6. Another great coaching job by Jeremy Miller. They've had injuries this season.
Well, they have had injuries, and obviously they started the season with a tough loss to North Muskegon. We're still kind of trying to find themselves in the early stages of the season, too, with some of those injuries that they had. But, they've been able to put things together. A couple of weeks ago, we were all there when we saw the performance they had against Fowler, and that was a pretty big win for them. And, they really the second half of the season, there's just been a number of impressive performances, from them in all facets as well, too. But, yeah, another strong season for Palmbos, Westphalia. And, last year was a interesting year where they actually finished tied atop the league standings with 2 other teams. But this year, getting back to their dominant ways and claiming the title outright.
Yeah, the big win over Fowler pretty much won it for them. Moving on, East Lansing clinched a share of the CAAC Blue Championship with an easy win over Holt. Everybody was concerned with the injury to Jace Clarizio, which has kept him in, and it's kept him out of the lineup for long stretches. He's been in and out of the lineup all year. But, man, Duarte Sams Jr., the backup running back, he has been outstanding this year. 205 yards and 3 touchdowns against Holt last Friday.
He's definitely stepped up big for them. I mean, they had a new starting quarterback this year, and Ben Fletcher, and he's put up some pretty decent numbers for them. Charlie Baker has been a big threat for them on the outside as well too. And so, I mean, East Lansing has found a way to get it done, and they've really been one of the hottest teams in the area. I mean, we talk about Mason and Portland, but outside of them, you look at the East Lansing team that's on a 6-game winning streak since those back-to-back losses to Portage Central and Hudsonville to start the season. So they are trending upwards in a good spot as they try for an outright league title this week.
Yes, we'll talk about that coming up in the next segment because that's our game coming up on these very airwaves, and you're going to be out there as well. Any other games from last week stick out to you?
There's a little bit out on the fringe of our area, but Corunna, beating Fenton.
Oh, yeah.
Plays this week. 57-7 for an outright Flint Metro League title. I mean, that's an impressive performance as well, too. Their coach, Steve Herrick, was named Detroit Lions Coach of the Week, and, Corunna's been one of those strong stories in the state with what they've been able to do, and they have a shot for an undefeated regular season for the first time since 2002. So, I mean, that was pretty impressive as well, too. But, I mean, I think, you kind of touched on the main things. Obviously, Mason and Portland, what they did was, really the two top stories out there from what happened in Week 8, and obviously East Lansing being able to claim at least a share of the CAAC Blue Championship. The other thing, Lakewood as well too. You forgot to mention them. Knocking off Perry, which Perry was trying to go for a 6th win, and Lakewood picked up its first win of the season there. So that was another thing that was surprising from last week. Yeah, and that damages Perry's playoff hopes potentially, depending on what happens this week. We'll talk about that in the next segment with Brian Calloway, the prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal, LSJ.com. All right, we've reviewed week number 8. In our next segment, we'll preview the 9th and final week of the regular season. And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN and the Lansing Sports Network, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
WVFN, Lansing Sports Leader.
Back for another segment with Brian Calloway, the prep sports editor of the Lansing State Journal. Okay, you're going to be at East Lansing at Grand Ledge. Eric and I are going to be at East Lansing Grand Ledge. You're going to hear it here in just a few minutes, so we'll save that for the very end. Taking a look at some of the other action around the area, and let's combine that with some of these teams that are looking to get into the playoffs. And let's start with Everett. Now, Everett is at Okemos. Everett heavily favored to win that game and finish their season with a winning record, a 5-4 record if they can win that one. They are 33rd in Division II in the rankings this week. Got to finish in the top 32. Do you think that win over Okemos, assuming it happens, gets them into the playoffs?
Yeah, I do think that win gets them in. Obviously, Everett is just on the edge, just outside of the final playoff spot there. Okemos is another Division II school as well, too. So, I mean, that helps the size of the school as far as the playoff points are concerned as well, too. So I think, Everett, with the win, should be able to get into the playoffs, which would be big for them. And, Coach Jalil Canty, I mean, it's been a few years. I think maybe 2019 was the last year that they were a part of the playoffs as well, too. So that's definitely something that would be big for that program.
This despite less than 30 varsity players on the team. That would be one whale of a coaching job, like you said. All right, let's move on into Division III. Teams like, Mason and DeWitt, they're very likely going to get home games in Division III. But DeWitt needs to beat Waverly at home to clinch a share of the CAAC Blue Championship along with at least East Lansing. You think DeWitt comes through that one? Waverly's been competitive with a number of teams this year, including Grand Ledge.
Yeah, Waverly definitely has been competitive. I think DeWitt gets it done and gives itself a chance to maybe earn a share of the CAAC Blue title.
Yeah, potentially. That's right, because if East Lansing beats Grand Ledge, they have the title outright. All right, moving on into Division IV, we know Portland and Sexton are in. Hazlitt is going to be in as well. They're ranked 19th. Charlotte is 25th. They play at Fowlerville on the road. Fowlerville's 39th in Division III, so they need to win and get a lot of help to potentially get in Division III. How do you see Charlotte at Fowlerville?
Yeah, this is interesting. Fowlerville, too, just is coming off a pretty big win over an Adrian team that, is having a pretty good season and had been in the top 10 in Division 4 at times as well, too. So, obviously, Fowlerville does have some potential there. And, obviously, Charlotte, is a team that, outside of the two losses to, Portland and Sexton has been had a pretty strong season. I'm going with Charlotte in this game, but I think this is a game that can be close.
Okay. As far as Ionia, they are 31st in Division 4. They are looking at their record, 4-4 on the season. But they play their traditional rivals, Lakewood, in week number 9. Lakewood, they just got their first win of the season last week. They upset Perry. If Ionia wins, does that get them into the playoffs, in your opinion? Like I said, 31st in Division 4, and if Ionia wins, they would finish 5-4.
Yeah, I definitely think this gets Ionia in. Ionia is a team that has been trending up. You look at the game they had against St. John's last week, only allowed 2 points. Then they shut out Lansing Catholic the week prior to that as well, too. So, and they are finding some answers there, getting some things done. I think they pick up the win here over Lakewood and then secure their slot into the state playoffs.
Division 5, there's only one team that's in, and that's Williamston. They're ranked 7th in Division 5 because of the tough schedule they play in the CAAC Red. They're going to be in. They play Goodrich, however, at home. If Williamston wins, they're going to get at least one home game. Do you think the Hornets get it done?
Goodrich is a tough team. I mean, the only loss that they have this season is to Corona, who we mentioned in the earlier segment.
Mm-hmm.
And Goodrich is a team that has beat, a power program like Frankenmuth earlier this year as well, too. So, and Goodrich was the state runner-up last year as well, too, in D4. So I've got Goodrich in this one. But Williamston is a team that, has played well against some tough competition this year.
Moving on, the game, it's become a really good rivalry, really good end-of-season game. Lansing Catholic is at Pewamo, Westphalia this year. We know PW's in, and even if they lose, they're probably going to get at least one home game in Division 7. But there's a possibility that Lansing Catholic could lose this game and still get in at 3-6. They're ranked 24th in Division 6. How do you see this Lansing Catholic PW game, and do you think Catholic needs to win to get in the playoffs?
No, I don't think Lansing Catholic needs to win to get into the playoffs. We saw last year, kind of as well, too, when they had a down year by their recent standards where they were able to get into the playoffs with a losing record, and then they still were able to make some noise and win a couple of playoff games a year ago as well, too. So I think Lansing Catholic, regardless of what happens, I think that they are, find their way to as a part of the field.
And what about Olivet? They're 30th in Division 6. They've struggled all season long, but maybe making a late push for a playoff berth. They're 3-5 on the season, but they're at Richland Gull Lake. Does Olivet win and potentially get in?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game for Olivet. I've got Gull Lake in that one. Gull Lake's a pretty decent program. And, I'm unsure what happens with Olivet. Obviously, they did pick up a win over Lansing Catholic last week, which kind of helped improve their odds. Picked up a win prior to that as well, too, to put themselves in this position to be in the field. But, I think it's going to be tough for them. They're going to need a lot of help with things going on around them in order to be, part of the field.
All right, on to Division 7. We're talking with Brian Calloway from the Lansing State Journal, LSJ.com. Who would have thunk that Perry at Bath would be one of the top games in week number 9? We didn't think so at the start of the season. These teams have been middling around, not awful, but not great either. Yet here we are. Perry is 5-3. Bath is 5-3. Bath is 20th in Division 7. Perry is 25th. You figure the winner of this game absolutely locks cinch in. Does the loser of this game get in your opinion, Brian Calloway?
I do think the loser will get in. Perry is, I would say Bath is the favorite of these two teams in this game. And Perry, 25th in playoff points, there's a little bit of wiggle room for them there. Langsburg is also in the field, and they're currently in the field. They're 4-4, and they're 26th. They're a spot behind, Perry as well, too. So, I think Perry, even, if they were to lose, they'd get in. I think Bath, if they were to lose, they'd get in. But like you said, this is going to be an interesting game between teams that are both 5-3 and, fighting to maybe try to have be in contention to have a home playoff game next week.
You touched on Langsburg. They're 26th. They missed the playoffs last year despite going 6-3 and winning a share of the league title. They got to go to Essexville Garber. Does Langsburg need to win that to get in?
I don't think they necessarily have to win it to get in. I just, with some of these teams in Division 7, like I was just looking at it the other day. My alma mater, Coloma, on the west side of the state, is think they were 2 or 3-5, and they were a part of the field still in Division 7 as well too. So I think Laingsburg, even with the loss, would find itself maybe in one of those final spots, and I think they can get into the field.
Yeah, finally in Division 7, Leslie, they're 34th. They're just outside the top 32. Again, 3-5 on the season. They're playing in the Cascades crossover. They didn't qualify for the Cascades League Championship, so they play a crossover game. They get Homer, and I believe they're playing that at home. Leslie obviously needs to win this game to have a chance to get in. Do they get it?
Yeah, I think so. Homer is a team that's winless this year. I mean, this is a program that has had some, very stretches of good, solid football that they play, but this is one of those down years, for that program. But I think this is a game that is very winnable for Leslie, and I think a win here, depending on what else happens, I think they would have a shot to be a part of the field come Sunday.
And finally, at least in 11-player football, Saranac, they've been a team that's been down quite a bit in recent years, yet they're 4-4, ranked 34th in Division 8. They get Wyoming Kelloggsville at home tonight. Does Saranac win and get themselves in?
I do think Saranac wins, and I do think they get themselves in. Wyoming Kelloggsville is a bigger school as well too, so I think that's going to be something that will help their playoff point cause as well too. Being a Division 8 school, playing a school that is bigger than them as well too. So I do think Saranac picks up a win here and gets in the field.
And finally, we know that Portland St. Patrick's and probably Morris are going to get in the field in 8-player Division 2. So congratulations to them. As far as the game we're going to be at tonight, East Lansing at Grand Ledge. The coaches, Bill Farraco and Joe Bry, told me earlier in the pregame, Jace Clarizio will play for East Lansing tonight. He's been in and out of the lineup, and it looks like that Grand Ledge is going to get one of their backup quarterbacks back. Preston Bonet looks like he's going to play tonight against East Lansing. Knowing that, Brian, does that change your prediction? I took East Lansing in this one. I just think they have a little bit too much, but I think it's going to be one whale of a ball game.
Yeah, that is promising development for Grand Ledge, being able to get Bonet back, because he was a guy that did a good job filling in when Jamison Patton went down before he got hurt, which I believe was in the DeWitt game that he went down. But then obviously, and then East Lansing getting a piece back, Jace Clarizio, who has played well when he's been in the lineup. So I mean, that's big for them as well too. I still think East Lansing picks up the win and claims the outright title. But I think this has the potential to be a pretty good game.
He's Brian Calloway, Prep Sports Editor of the Lansing State Journal, LSJ.com. Brian, thanks so much. We will talk to you next week. Review week number 9 and preview week 1 of the playoffs.
Hey, sounds good, Brock. Thanks for having me.
And you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 730 AM WVFN and the Lansing Sports Network. Brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
Lansing Sports Leader, WVFN.
And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Grand Ledge High School. We got the big matchup tonight in the mid-Michigan area, at least one of them anyway. It is the battle for the CAAC Blue Championship. The East Lansing Trojans at 6-2 on the season, 5-0 in the CAAC Blue, against the Comets of Grand Ledge, 4-1 in the CAAC Blue, like East Lansing, 6-2 overall. Good evening. I'm Brock Palmbush. Alongside me is Eric Doc Love. And Doc, like I said, this is for the CAAC Blue Championship. If East Lansing wins, it's theirs all to themselves. If Grand Ledge wins, they get at least a piece of the title with East Lansing and potentially DeWitt.
Yeah, the Trojans, their last blue title came back in 2020, the shortened season of 2020. They were 27-19 all-time versus Grand Ledge, but the Comets got them last year, 45-30 in a shootout in that one, and Comets looking to right the ship a little bit here. Got a win last week against Okemos, 49-0, but have been struggling before that with injuries.
Absolutely, but I have been told, and if you were listening in the pregame show, Joe Bry told me that Preston Bonet, one of their backup quarterbacks that has been hurt, he's back tonight and he will play. As for the Trojans of East Lansing, they have been terrific after a couple of early losses. They beat Holt last Friday night 42-7. Dewate Sams, Jr., backup running back because of the injury to Jace Clarizio, 11 carries, 205 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But as you heard in the pregame show, head coach Bill Farraco told me Jace Clarizio, their star junior running back, and he will play tonight. We'll talk about that more coming up on the other side of this break. We'll take a timeout and come back on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
WVFN East Lansing, a town square media station. We're the station you've turned to for sports for over 30 years. The game, 7:30 a.m.
Palmbos and Erik, Doc Love back here at Grand Ledge High School. We're just about set to go here, Doc. But as I was saying just before we got to break for the national anthem, Jace Clarizio, the star running back, junior running back for East Lansing, he is back and active tonight.
And that will help out that Trojan offense a little bit more. Last time he played against Everett in their 45-14 win, he had 3 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown on that one. But Duarte Sams Jr. has filled in fantastically for Coach Bill Farraco. The junior, almost 1,000 yards a season and 13 rushing yards. So they've got somebody else just in case Clarizio isn't 100%.
East Lansing won the toss, and they will defer. They'll be going from left to right across your radio dial from east to west, as this is an east-west stadium here at Grand Ledge. Grand Ledge Community Field, they call it. And we'll be set to go here. East Lansing is kicking off. And here we go. Here's the kick. It is high. It is deep. It is taken at the 10-yard line. Out to the 15. Out to the 20. Oh, it's faked. Oh, they handed it off to one of the other return men, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Number 6.
Number 6 for Grand Ledge. Zachariah Jones completely faked me out.
Because he wasn't the one that caught the ball on the kickoff return.
No, I believe it was Ben McDermott who caught it. And
they went to one of those kind of weird kickoff formations where you turn your back behind the oncoming rushers, the guys in the kickoff coverage, and he pitched it off to Zachariah Jones, and no one for the Trojans knew what was going. And what was that, 90 yards roughly? 85?
I'll say 90 yards. Yeah,
maybe 85?
It was McCarthy, they said. It was Noah McCartnney who handed it off to Zachariah Jones. We'll say 85-yard.
We'll get an official clarification on that.
Yes, we will.
But how about a way to start senior night here for Grand Ledge?
My goodness. Number 81, Colin Flynn, sophomore kicker. He's going to kick the extra point. 13 seconds into this game, and it's 6-0 Comets. Sorry to be so confused, folks out there listening in Radio Land. On the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, the game 730am.com, and the LansingSportsNetwork.com. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Grand Ledge.
You were confused. I didn't know exactly who had the ball. I think the only person who knew who had the ball was Zachariah Jones. And maybe Noah McCartney, because he was the one who caught it and gave it to him.
We will obviously stay right here. We're not going to take a break now. My goodness. Opening kickoff.
Well, we started out the regular season with a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Oh, for Holt, yeah.
For Holt, and now, it's the last week of the regular season. Why not start a ball game with a kickoff return for a touchdown?
Well. So Noah McCartney handed off or flipped the ball. We didn't even see a flip. We didn't even see a handoff. They're just guys running everywhere. And then
that was quite the misdirection play.
Then the next thing you know, Zachariah Jones is running down the near sideline by the Grand Ledge bench, and there was nobody around him, and he took it in for a score.
The closest person to him was a teammate of his, a Comet.
Exactly. Here's the kickoff. They're going for an onside kick.
Oh, man.
And, oh, my goodness, Grand Ledge tried an onside kick. It didn't work. Number 18, Romeo Washington, picked it up. Landon Pilcher, the backup kicker, he tried an onside kick, and it almost worked, but it was picked up by number 18, Romeo Washington, a senior, and East Lansing is going to have the ball in play at their own 48-yard line.
Well, it's a gutsy play out there, but, Coach Joe Bry going to give it all here. They want to get this win. We're talking about playoffs before we got on air, Brock.
We didn't even have time to get to that.
We didn't get to talk about it in the pregame show, but a home game, a win tonight for Grand Ledge would almost certainly guarantee them a home playoff game to start. And for East Lansing, they're looking to try and get a home one themselves and then obviously win the CAAC Blue outright tonight.
Right. Now we got a whistle. We got a stoppage here.
We might have an equipment issue for one of the Trojans.
Yeah, looks like number 11, Duarte Sams Jr. Apparently an equipment issue, so he's out of the game. Ben Fletcher is their quarterback, number 12. He's just a junior, so he'll be back next year.
So Clarizio comes in.
Jace Clarizio, the outstanding junior. He's going to get the start. 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Clarizio in motion, off to the left. Low snap. Fletcher flips it out. It is caught by number 14, Owen Fortman. He gets into Grand Ledge territory, but not much further. It'll be a gain of about 3.
No, he never went down.
And they say he never went down. The backside official's still going, and it's a touchdown. So 52-yard touchdown, Doc.
He never went down by contact. There was no referee, didn't blow any whistles. They're now having a discussion right now to see what happened.
Let's wait and see.
They're calling a face mask on Grand Ledge, but when was that at? Was that before the touchdown? During the touchdown run?
Touchdown is good.
Wow.
Well, confusion reigns here because I thought he was getting taken down at the 49-yard the 49-yard line of Grand Ledge, and then the next thing you know, he's through the pile and into the secondary.
No whistles were blown.
No.
He didn't stop his movement. He was still going forward. He had a couple of Trojans escorting him into the end zone.
And that was
number 14, Owen Fortman.
52-yard touchdown. The extra point is up and good, and we're tied at 7.
Oh, man, what a start to this ballgame. Is this what we're in for? Wasn't Friday the 13th last week,
Yes.
Brock?
So 28 seconds into this game, we're not kidding, folks. 28 seconds into this game, 11:32 to go in the first quarter, and we are tied at 7. You cannot, as Tim always says, you just can't make this up. I know I should do better. I've had years of practice.
Yeah, you should. That wasn't that bad. I'll give you credit for that one. But East Lansing, they won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Like, okay, that happens, 95% of the time, it seems like.
Yep.
They give up the kickoff return to start, and you're like, well, okay, maybe, you justify what happens. They trade a trick play on the kickoff return, and it worked. But then you get the ball back, and, there's an equipment issue to start the ball game for Duarte Sams Jr. Okay, He's got to go out. Clarizio comes in. They run a bubble screen on the inside. It looked like it's going to get snuffed out pretty quickly, and he's gone for a touchdown.
And the next thing you know, he gets through the pile and goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Owen Fortman. So Grand Ledge did get called for a face mask on the play, deciding to take the penalty on the kickoff. So East Lansing's going to kick off from the Grand Ledge 45-yard line. And is that Fortman out there kicking off? Who is that?
Nope. I don't think so. He's got a weird angle on the... I think it's 24. No, I'm sorry.
It's 34.
Okay.
Isaiah Armstrong, he just bombs it out of the end zone. Yep, 34. Isaiah Armstrong kicked it completely out of the end zone. So Grand Ledge is going to get the ball on their own 20-yard line. They're going to be going from right to left or west to east. They're in their home blue uniforms with gold numerals, blue helmets, gold interlocking GL on their helmets, and gold face masks. For East Lansing, think Penn State's road uniforms.
Yes.
And helmets. Almost identical, folks. Here's Grand Ledge on their own 20-yard line. Throwing it out to the left. It is caught out over the 20, out over the 25. That's number 11. That's Mac Foreman. And that is number 22, Preston Bonet, in the game. This is his first action since the DeWitt game nearly a month ago. Gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 3. 11:04 and counting, first quarter. We are tied at 7. And that's not a joke, folks. Bonet in the gun. Going to fake handoff to the running back. He's going to take it himself. He gets to the 28, maybe the 29, and he's gang tackled there. They're going to mark him at the 29, so a gain of 2. Well, he certainly didn't expect this start.
No.
It'll be 3rd down and 1 after the quarterback keeper. In the backfield with him is number 11, Mac Foreman. We'll see a lot of him. We'll also see a lot of a freshman, number 28, Anthony Baker. Pete, they're really high on him out here in Grand Ledge.
Rightfully so.
Just a freshman, and he made varsity. He's a factor. Bonet, quarterback draw, going left side. He's got a first down, 30, pushed out of bounds, 34-yard line. Number 9, Jalen McFadden, was in on the tackle. or in on the push out,
yes,
it's going to be a first down. That was just designed just to get the first down.
Mm-hmm.
He gets 5. They mark him down at the 34. 1st and 10, Grand Ledge.
Having Bonet back helps this Comet offense out quite a bit. Jameson Patton was a starting quarterback. He got injured. He's out for the rest of the year, supposedly. Yep. I still saw his arm in a sling before at the coin toss.
Yeah, his left arm, yep. Bonet in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Hands off to the running back. That's Foreman. Gets maybe to the 35 and just not much there. He did well just to get 1 yard. Just the handoff, he went right up the middle and got 1 yard. 2nd down and 9 from their own 35-yard line. 9:50 and counting. And we'll tell you about our great sponsors when we get a chance. And tell you about some of the other action around the mid-Michigan area. Some longer interviews in the pregame. Not quite as much time for us here in the pregame, but we'll get to all of that. Bonet taking it himself out over the 35, out over the 40, maybe to the 41, and now ball is loose. And the officials say he was down. So a gain of 6 for Bonet. And it's going to be 3rd and 3.
That's what Bonet brings to this offense. A dual threat kind of a guy. Listed technically as a wide receiver, but has played quarterback in the past and can come in and do both things for you. And a decent enough passer and a much better athlete overall.
8:51 and counting. We are tied at 7 here in the first quarter. Bonet in the shotgun. 1 wide receiver right, 2 to the left. Now man in motion. Bonet's going to take it himself. He's not going to have the first down. He gets to the 42 and no further. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
Yeah, a couple of Trojans on that design quarterback draw. They were hoping that Foreman set up in the backfield, put him in motion, bring him out there. Maybe a linebacker will run out there and they'll clear up space up the middle. But Julius Goodwin, the middle linebacker, said, no, I know what's happening, and he made the stop.
The ball is between the 42 and 43-yard line, so it's 4th and a yard and a half for the Comets, and they're going to at least line up to go for it. Seeing this a lot more, Doc, no matter what level of football. They are going to line up to go for it. Bonet in the shotgun. Man in motion. He's going to hand off. That's Foreman. He's got the first down out over the 45, close to midfield. I think he's going to dive. Well, they're going to say he's down at his own 49-yard line. Big first down there for Grand Ledge. They'll keep the ball for another 4 plays.
A little read option on that one, and Bonet had the option to hold it himself and take it back. He was reading and seeing what the defense was going to do, handed it off to his running back Foreman, who got to the outside, found that corner, and sprinted towards that first down marker.
Needed a yard and a half. He got 7. Ball right at midfield, 7:52 on the clock. We're tied at 7, Grand Ledge and East Lansing. Bonet, screen pass out to the left. That's number 6. That's Zachariah Jones. Not much there. Maybe even a loss on the play. Excellent defense by East Lansing.
Yeah, Noah Lopez, making the stop on that one.
Loss on the play of 2 yards. So he's 2 for 2 on the night is Bonet for 5 yards.
Yes.
Because he had a 7-yard completion earlier in this drive. 2nd and 12 from their own 48-yard line. 7:19 to go first quarter. Brock Palmbos, Erik Doc Love here at Grand Ledge Community Field. East Lansing at Grand Ledge for the CAAC Blue title. Fake handoff, and Bonet is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration led by number 8, Noah Lopez, and he's tackled down at his own 44-yard line.
They'll lose 4 more yards on that one.
3rd and a whole bunch. 3rd and 16.
Again, read option play. Has the running back next to him. He can hand it off to him. He thought that the defensive end and the linebacker were going to go with the running back, Foreman, and that didn't happen. And they read it perfectly, and the Trojans snuff it out and force another loss. Now you're behind the sticks.
3rd and 16. 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 left. Bonet in the gun, dropping to throw. Now he's going to run for it, and now he just throws it away.
Yep.
Great penetration again by Noah Lopez, number 8, and number 15, Dontavius Royals. He was way outside the pocket, and he just threw it into his bench. No penalty there. saw absolutely, there's just nothing there.
There was nothing downfield. He had no time to throw the ball. He had about a second and a half, maybe 2 at the max, when the pocket collapsed in on him. And, that was the smart thing to do right there, was to throw the ball away.
Nick Terranova into punt for Grand Ledge. He's standing on his own 31-yard line.
Charlie Baker back to receive this punt from East Lansing, number 88.
He's standing on his own 20-yard line. High snap, does get the kick away.
Good punt.
Good punt. Going to go inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. 56-yard punt for Terranova. It'll be 1st and 10 East Lansing from their own 20-yard line. This is Doubting Industries' presentation of high school football. We thank Jeff Metz and his great staff at Doubting Industries for sponsoring our coverage tonight and all season long. We're also sponsored by the Lansing Sports Commission. Megan Zemer and her great staff do a fantastic job 24/7, 365. No matter the sport, the Lansing Sports Commission can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find out more at lansingsports.org. And Jeff Metz, Doubting Industries, recognizing the effort and commitment athletes give to the sport of football. They're always interested in individuals that have the drive and desire to be successful in work and in life. Check them out at doubtingindustries.com. You may find a successful future here. We'll go over the action around the mid-Michigan area a little bit later on here. But right now, East Lansing has the ball at their own 20-yard line. Fletcher is going to hand off. That is Duarte Sams going left side. He gets out to the 22, but no further.
Short little toss to the outside. Was hoping to get around that left tackle, but Comet's able to converge and force them back towards the rest of their other defenders.
2nd and 8 from their own 22-yard line. Halfway through the first quarter, less than 6 minutes to go. We're tied at 7. Fletcher, pistol formation, dropping to throw, throws it out, caught over the 30-yard line to the 33, maybe the 34. Owen Fortman, who caught the touchdown pass on their first play from scrimmage that they had earlier in this quarter.
Gain of 11.
Out to the 33-yard line, 1st down.
He just kind of sat down in the middle of that zone, turned around, the ball was right there, went forward and picked up the 1st down.
I mean, high school secondary coverages aren't that sophisticated usually.
Most of the time it's zone.
Some type of zone defense.
Yep. Every once in a while he gets some man-to-man on the outside.
True. 2 wide receivers left. A little bit tighter formation here for Ben Fletcher.
Tight end and an H-back.
2 wing backs now. They're going to hand off right up the middle over the 35. That's Sams over the 40 to the 43, maybe the 44. He's going to have a 1st down, I think. Yes, they do. 1st down. He needed 10, got 10. 1st down, East Lansing.
They brought the extra H-back in, and somebody came in motion, and they were supposed to go to the outside, but Sams Jr. saw that lane in the middle, picked up a yard, picked up a couple more, ran somebody over, and they got the chains moving.
Fletcher in the pistol. Handoff, Sams. Goes left side, 45. He's into Grand Ledge territory. He's got a 1st down, pushed out of bounds by Preston Bonet, but we got a late flag.
There's a couple of flags there, and I think it's going to be the same thing, and this one's more than likely going to be coming back. And the Trojans are already walking back. They know it's going to be a penalty on them. Sam's got to the outside because there was a holding.
Holding call. First penalty of the game on East Lansing. So that'll push them back into their own territory, all the way back to their own 35-yard line. Remember, it's a spot foul.
Yep.
So it'll be 1st down and 18 from their own 35.
It was 2 yards downfield when the flag was thrown.
Grand Ledge has 1 penalty. That was on the touchdown by Owen Fortman. Now going to hand off up the middle. That's Sams. And no, that's Clarizio actually. And he's going to have a 1st down. He went right up the middle.
Picked up a solid 20 on that. He got a burst of speed.
At least 20. Man, burst of speed getting through the line all the way down into Grand Ledge territory at the 45-yard line.
East Lansing got to the line real quick, snapped it, and I don't think Grand Ledge was ready for that play, and Clarizio took advantage of it.
18 yards on that carry. Clarizio is in there at the Grand Ledge 45. He gets outside, 45, cuts inside, gets into the 40, now to the 39. He's taken down there. Number 25, Cooper Parks, was in on the play. Gain of 6. And Noah McCartney was in there as well. 4:04 and counting first quarter, tied at 7, East Lansing and Grand Ledge. If East Lansing wins tonight, they're the outright CAAC Blue champs. Handoff, Clarizio up the middle. Not much there, taken down at the 37-yard line.
Nice tackle by, was that number 50 for Grand Ledge?
I believe so.
That was Ryan Beatty.
Number 15, Gabe Lopez, was in there as well. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 from the 37-yard line. East Lansing going with tempo here. Pistol formation. Handoff. Clarizio again. 1st down inside the 35.
Had a little hesitation move, and that allowed the defender to get out of the position that he wanted, and Clarizio moves the chains.
He gets 3. Needed 2. Got 3. 1st down East Lansing at the 34.
He goes out. Duarte Sams Jr. comes back in. Grand Ledge trying to make a sub, and they might have to hurry up and get off the field real quick. They almost had 12.
They almost did a high snap. Sams grabs it, however, was fumbled by a Fletcher, and I got to tell you, Duarte Sams did a terrific job getting 4 or 5 yards by himself.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
The snap popped up into the air. Sams grabbed it, went out to the left, and got 5 yards pretty much by himself, down to the 29-yard line of Grand Ledge, and they're ready to go again. Pistol formation. Handoff. Sams. 26, 25-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short. Looks like what? Number 29?
Nick Terranova.
Nick Terranova.
Nope, that was 25. Cooper Parks.
25. Okay, couldn't quite see the numbers there. Number 25, Parks. Doing it again. Going, hurry up. Sams, he's got a 1st down. Needed only 1. Got 2 or 3. He got 2. He's down to the 27-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 East Lansing. 2:35 to go first quarter. Go ahead.
I say super tempo right here.
Man, hurry up offense.
They're even subbing really quickly.
This is like Buffalo Bills, the K-Gun offense back in the early 90s. The hurry up offense, which messed NFL teams up forever. Handoff, Clarizio goes left side, inside the 20, inside the 15, inside the 10. Nope, they mark him down at the 14-yard line, but still a gain of 8.
Stiff arm again, and then just ran out of territory. Otherwise, he might have had a touchdown himself.
Preston Bonet knocked him out of bounds.
Just barely.
2nd down and 2 from the 14-yard line. Fletcher, hands off. Clarizio doesn't find much. Now outside to the right, and he's got a 1st down. He gets down inside the 10-yard line to the 9-yard line. There wasn't much there in the middle. There was nothing in the middle. So he veered off to the right, found some space, got 5 yards. 1st and goal, East Lansing.
The affordability to have the mobile feet like that, just kind of dance around and then look for a spot and then hit it.
Fletcher in the pistol. Pitch, Clarizio. Left side, inside the 10, inside the 5, easy touchdown.
Barely
Touchdown, East Lansing. Chase Clarizio from 9 yards out.
It was all runs and 1 pass. And a high tempo for East Lansing. Looking good out there running the ball.
It's 13-7 East Lansing with the extra point pending. Left-footed kicker Isaiah Armstrong, a junior, made his first extra point. Snap is good. Placement down. Kick on the way. Just inside the left upright. It's good. So, with 2:01 left in the first quarter, it's East Lansing 14, Grand Ledge 7. We're going to keep it right here, Doc, because we were a little bit behind in our pregame.
Yeah.
We didn't get to any of the other action around the mid-Michigan area. Holt is at Ann Arbor Huron tonight. Holt's had a rough season this year. I expect them to be back next year, but man, that's a tough team to play. Ann Arbor Huron looks like they're going to make the playoffs this year. Waverly is at DeWitt. Everett is at Okemos. Everett probably needs to win that game to get themselves in the Division II playoffs. St. John's is at Alpena. Mason is at Fenton. What a great win for Mason last week at Walled Lake Western, winning 30-7.
Who was ranked number 2 behind Mason's number 1 in Division III.
Yes, and despite that, Walled Lake Western still ranked higher in the playoff points.
Yeah.
Charlotte is at Fowlerville. Jackson at Hazlitt. Sexton at Eastern. Sexton was leading Eastern 14-0 as they started early tonight. Williamston hosts Goodrich. Clio at Eaton Rapids, Ionia at Lakewood. Ionia needs to win to get themselves in. Lansing Catholic at PW, Portland hosts Berrien Springs, Olivet at Richland Gull Lake, Perry at Bath, Langsburg at Essexville Garber, McBain at Fowler, Saranac hosting Wyoming Kellogg'sville, Dansville at Stockbridge, Leslie against Homer, Ovid Elsie against Standish Sterling, and here we go. Armstrong kicking off, kicks it high and out of bounds.
Well, first
it's
of all,
going to go out of bounds.
We got going to have two flags because somebody was offsides for East Lansing.
Okay.
So it's offsides and kick out of bounds.
I don't think it's a double penalty there. It's one or the other.
I think the offsides
takes
supersedes
precedence.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
End of first, Ionia 6, Lakewood nothing. You just mentioned Ionia needs a win to get in.
Because they're 31st in Division 4. You got to finish in the top 32 in each of the in your division to make it into the playoffs. And that would be a great, great thing for Chad Reinhard and the Ionia Bulldogs.
First quarter, Goodrich 7, Williamston nothing. Williamston
probably needs to win that game to get a home playoff game in Division 5. The only area team in Division 5 this year.
8-0, Charlotte leads Fowlerville in the first.
Okay. Armstrong kicking off again. It's a squib kick taken by Grand Ledge at the 20-yard line. That's number 11. That's Mac Foreman. Gets outside to the 30, to the 31, and he's taken down there. So decent field position for Grand Ledge to start this drive. And an 8-player football, didn't quite get to that. Maple Valley's going to close out their excellent season tonight at home against Martin, and Weberville is hosting Merrill. Morris will make it into the playoffs because they beat Montebello on the road last night, 46-6, and Portland St. Pat's, well, they're playing tomorrow. Playing at home to St. Charles. The Shamrocks will once again be in the playoffs. Why are they playing tomorrow? Well, because Portland High School is playing at home tonight. They got dibs on their home field.
Yes.
Bonet, hands off. Foreman, left side, 30, 35, 40, out to the 44, maybe the 45. First down, Grand Ledge. They're going to mark him, it looks like, at the 43-yard line.
12 yards, but nice job. Good moves, getting to the outside, broke a tackle, and then pick up the first down.
Give him 13 on that play, out to the 43.
Grand Ledge in a little different tempo. They don't huddle, but they take a little bit more time.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Handoff again. Foreman up the middle, 45 into East Lansing territory to the 47, maybe the 46. Yeah, they're going to give him a first down, gain of 11.
Good footwork by Foreman in the hole there, breaking yet another tackle and getting away from a Trojan defender.
Ball at the 46-yard line of East Lansing. 1st and 10, GL.
Bonet was reading that end, saw that he was going to take himself, Bonet, so hands off to Foreman, who cuts back to the right, cuts back to the left, and then, again, moving the chains.
Bonet, he's going to take it himself. Doesn't have much there. Cuts inside, gets 5, gets 6, gets inside the 40, where he's taken down by number 4, Daryl Getter, a junior, but not before. An 8-yard gain for Grand Ledge.
Well, it's gotten stopped to the outside. The play was designed to go to the outside, so what do you do? Goes against the grain, goes back to the right, and finds a nice little space to run through.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Might have actually gotten a few more yards. He ran into one of his offensive linemen who was in the way blocking down the field.
2nd and 2 from the 38. This will likely be the last play of the quarter. We're down to 30 seconds left of an action-packed first quarter. Bonet, hands off. That's Foreman. Don't know if he's got the first down. No, he's going to be short by about a half a yard. It'll be 3rd down and short. Give him 1. Jalen McFadden, number 9, took him down, and Grand Ledge is going to the sideline because this first quarter is complete. We've completed 12 minutes here. Action-packed first quarter, as I said. East Lansing leads Grand Ledge 14-7 in a game for the CAAC Blue Championship. We'll take 30 seconds and come back on the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
WVFN.
Brock Palmbos, Erik Love here at Community Field in Grand Ledge. The Grand Ledge Comets are driving, trailing 14-7 as we get ready to start quarter number 2.
See if I can get you some more scores real quick here. Gull Lake 20, Olivet nothing.
Olivet's got to win that game to get in.
They got a hole to dig themselves out of here.
They're ranked 30th right now in Division 6. Here we go, starting the second quarter. 3rd and 1 for Grand Ledge from the East Lansing 37. Bonet's going to take it himself. He's inside the 35, inside the 30, 25, 20. He's in the secondary. 15, 10, 5, dives. Touchdown, Grand Ledge. Touchdown, Comets. 37 yards, Preston Bonet.
Running left behind his blocker, designed quarterback keeper. Looks like he's going to pick up the first down. Okay, cool. I'm going to go right. There's no Trojans over here. Lots of pay dirt out there. And he just dives into the corner of the end zone from 37 yards out. And we're about to be tied again.
Colin Flynn's going to come on and kick the extra point. Grand Ledge one man short right now. Getting the 11th man out there. Here's the snap. It's good. Kick away. Good. And we are tied. I was afraid you were going to jinx him there, Doc.
Nope, I don't believe in that.
But we are tied once again at 14, 9 seconds into the second quarter. So Grand Ledge scored on the opening kickoff 13 seconds into the first quarter, and now they score again 9 seconds into the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And we're tied at 14.
Well, they had a shootout last year. It was 45-30. We might be in store for something like that tonight.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit closer of a score even.
Man.
Offenses are clicking right now.
You could say that. Really good drive for Grand Ledge. Give them credit.
Bonet coming back has really helped this team out.
So, number 27, Landon Pilcher. Senior kicker will be kicking off. As I adjust my headset here, it almost fell off. He kicks off. It's a squib kick. And it's taken. It's picked up by East Lansing. Fortunately, thrown 25-yard line. It took a high bounce over one of the East Lansing up men. And that's a live ball. And East Lansing very fortunate to fall on it.
Noah Lopez, Johnny on the spot to pick that one up because there were a couple comments a couple yards away.
Man.
That was a close one. Yeah, it took that really high hop, and the up guy, he couldn't get it. There's nothing he could do. It was way over his head.
Yep.
And so one of the other guys had to step up and get it.
If he reaches up and tips it, Grand Ledge maybe ends up with the ball.
Yeah.
He was probably wise to let that go.
Scoring update, Mason 14, Fenton 7.
Okay.
DeWitt 14, Waverly nothing in the second.
Ben Fletcher, quarterback, I formation. He's going to hand off. Going over to the left side. That's either Sams or Clarizio. I can't tell who it is.
Get the pile piled up. And
Sams.
Yep.
Nice job by Sams. Gets over to the 42-yard, not the 42, the 32-yard line. Gain of 7. Ben Fletcher comes over from the sideline.
They're not going with
Gets
this
the play.
hurry-up tempo now.
A little more deliberate now. 3 wide receivers, 2 left, 1 right, single back behind Fletcher. Hand off, up the middle. Is that Clarizio? I think it is. Oh, Sams again?
Yep.
Yep, there he is. Number 11, Sams. And he's got a first down. He got in the secondary real quick. Man, he's fast as well.
He gets the ball, Brock, and he plants that foot, and wow.
Gain of 10, up to the 42.
You are going to be lucky to get a hand on him at the line of scrimmage, because if there's even the slightest little bit of a gap, man, he's gone.
Doc, it looks like East Lansing is just alternating possessions for Sams and Clarizio.
Yeah.
Probably a wise thing to do.
Well, they're trying to keep Clarizio healthy.
Yes, for the playoffs.
Sams Jr.'s been awesome this year.
3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Sams in the backfield next to Fletcher. Now they screen pass it out to the right. Flanker screen. It is caught up to the 48, maybe the 49-yard line. And now we got a whistle and we got a flag. Oh, man down. And we got a flag down as well.
Andrew Waters was the guy who caught it, but there's going to be a hold.
Hold. Okay. 3rd penalty on East Lansing. Third penalty for three penalties for 25 yards. Grand Ledge, one penalty for 15 yards, and that was a face mask on one of the East Lansing touchdowns, the first East Lansing touchdown. So they'll move it back. It's going to be first and a whole bunch.
Faracco incensed on the sideline. He said, it looked like he's like, you guys didn't even know where the spot was at.
It's going to be first and 18.
Yeah.
Coming in the game now for East Lansing, 34, Isaiah Armstrong.
They don't have positions on their roster.
No, they don't.
But
Not the ones that we were given.
Yep.
Ben Fletcher gets this play in from the sideline, rushes into the huddle. 10-14, 10-13 to go in the first half. We're tied at 14, East Lansing and Grand Ledge. Handoff, counter handoff. Clarizio's in the game now, and he goes right side.
No, not down.
He thought he was down originally at the 39, but he was able to keep his knee off the ground, and he got about 4 or 5 more yards himself.
Kind of cartwheeled off of the defender. The defender was on the turf, and he stayed upright.
Out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 11. It'll be second down and 7.
Counterplay on that one, and Rizio fakes like he's going left, comes back to the right, got to the outside, and the comment guy had him wrapped up, but the comment guy was on the one on the ground.
Clarizio in the backfield again. Power set to power I formation to the left. Handoff, Clarizio. And he's in the secondary again. He's still going. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. Touchdown, Jace Clarizio. 55 yards.
Man. Key block on that one, Brock. 21, Julian Terranova, who lined up at fullback / H-back for that one. He got the key block that sprung Clarizio, who has got the wheels.
Man.
These two running backs, Brock, they can carry a team. You don't need to pass the ball.
They are carrying the team.
You
Let's
don't
be
need
real.
to pass the ball.
Man. So with 9:17 to go in the second quarter, East Lansing's up 20-14. Extra point pending. 34, Isaiah Armstrong in for the extra point. Ben Fletcher, the quarterback, in to hold.
Second rushing touchdown of the game for Clarizio.
Snap, hold, kick, all good is good. And so with 9:17 to go in the first half, it's East Lansing 21, Grand Ledge 14. We'll take 30 seconds and come back. On the game, 730 AM WVFN, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
The game, 730 AM.
Brock Palmbush, Erik Doc Love, here at Grand Ledge Community Field. And East Lansing just went ahead of the Comets again. Chase Clarizio, a 55-yard touchdown run, his second touchdown of the game, and the Trojans lead the Comets 21-14. Isaiah Armstrong kicking off for EL. It is high, it is deep, it is into the end zone. First and 10 from the 20. How does Grand Ledge respond, Erik Doc Love?
Well, if history repeats itself, they're going to get another touchdown.
Man. Grand Ledge has punted once, and all East Lansing did after that went 80 yards for a touchdown drive. East Lansing's had the ball, 3 times?
Yes.
They have 21 points.
Yep. Grand Ledge has had it. This is their 4th time. They had a punt 1 time. Their first drive. Yes.
They've had it 3 times. They punted once. The kickoff return, kickoff return for a touchdown.
This is their 4th drive.
I believe that's right. Yes.
It is a 3rd drive. You're right.
Bonet is going to take it himself. Anthony Baker's in the game now for the first time. Bonet gets to the 20-yard line, and he gets absolutely snowed under. They're going to be generous and give him 1 yard there on the quarterback draw. Surprised they didn't give the ball to Anthony Baker there. The outstanding freshman running back. He does get 1. Does Bonet. It's second and 9 from their own 21. 8:54 and counting, first half. East Lansing leading Grand Ledge 21-14. If EL wins tonight, they're the outright CAAC Blue champs. If Grand Ledge wins, they share the title with East Lansing and possibly DeWitt.
Second quarter, Williamson 8, Goodrich 7.
Okay.
Hornets just scored and got a 2-pointer.
Okay. Preston Bonet in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Baker next to him in the gun. Baker's got it. Not much there. He's going to get one and pushes forward, maybe two. I think they're going to give him two. Yes, they're going to give him two. The Grand Ledge people very high on this ninth grader. It's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 23. 8:08 and count. 8:06 and counting, rather. Clock was frozen for just 1 second. 3rd down and 7 from their own 23-yard line. Grand Ledge taking their time.
You don't want to go 3 and out right now. Your defense is getting gashed.
Bonet in the gun. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Bonet rolling left, throws it over the middle. It's caught over the 25, over the 30, first down. Zachariah Jones, who took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown to start the game. He was kind of a safety valve. Needed 7, got 9. Grand Ledge keeps the ball. First down from their own 32.
It was that underneath screen. It just didn't develop properly, and it took a while, and Bonet had to just kind of all of a sudden loft it over there to Jones, who once again fell on the defender and was able to roll forward and pick up the first down.
Bonet in the gun. 4 wide receivers. Handoff, Baker up the middle, over the 35 to the 37-yard line. Sneaks through and gets 5 yards.
Tough to bring him down. We talk about Duarte Sams Jr. and Jake Clarizio for East Lansing having all this speed. Baker's got some power out there because 2 dudes bounced off him, and then finally a third Trojan was able to bring him down.
2nd down and 5 for GL. Comets trailing 21-14. .6:44 and counting. Both teams, all 3 timeouts left. 3 wide receivers and a wingback on the right. Baker next to Bonet in the gun. Handoff. Baker, right side, sweep. Gets to the 39, pushes forward over the 40. Man, using some power. He got 2 yards all by himself because he just kept his legs going and his upper body going. And it's now going to be 3rd and short.
That's what I'm telling you. A safety came over and made the hit, and Baker stopped for a second and just kept right on going.
It's now 3rd and 1 from their own 41, and you got to think 2 downs to make 1 yard, the way this game is going.
Yep, it's going to be a high-scoring ball game, and it's in your own territory. But at 1 yard, you're more than likely probably going to Bonet's going to keep it himself, go up the middle, or they're going to hand it off to Baker.
You have it at the 41, not the 11.
Yes.
Big difference. Bonet in the gun. Unbalanced line, handoff. Baker needed 1, got 2, still going, gets stopped at the 43, pushed back. They may mark him at the 44. Yeah, they're going to give him the 44. Needed 1, got 3, first down Grand Ledge.
Forward momentum on that. Yeah, unbalanced line. They only had 1 lineman on this side towards us, and they actually ran that direction. Baker did not go to the power side to the left.
Charlie Baker on the stop. 1st and 10 Grand Ledge at their own 44-yard line. 5:30 and counting. First half.
Baker's a stud for East Lansing, too. He makes a lot of plays for him, both sides of the ball.
Bonet in the gun. Man in motion, that's Zachariah Jones. He's going to take it himself, is Bonet. He's into East Lansing territory, gets a block outside. We got a late flag. He's going to have a first down, but we'll hold off on this. This may be coming back.
It's 1 yard down the field, and it's coming back as another hold.
Another hold.
First holding for Grand Ledge. The other 2 were against East Lansing.
Going to be first. It's going to be first and about 18 or 19.
I think 19, where the spot of the flag is at.
Flag was thrown at the 45-yard line, so 10 yards back from that, and it will be 1st and 19. With 5:14 to go in the first half, East Lansing leading Grand Ledge 21-14.
Something for the Comets to overcome now. That was going to be a first down because Bonet had gotten past the chains.
Yep. 5 minutes to go, first half. We'll have halftime stats and analysis after This Week in High School Sports, and we'll get to other scores around the mid-Michigan area. Handoff up the middle. That's Baker. Over the 40. 45 cuts outside. He's in East Lansing territory. He's got the first down, pushed out of bounds, and a late flag, probably for a late hit on East Lansing.
Either a hit or a face mask, one of those two. But Baker, the Trojans, committed too far upfield, and as soon as Baker got the ball, he was already past him.
23 yards on that carry for Baker. Dead ball, personal foul, East Lansing.
You were right, Brock. Late hit. So tack on 15 after the 23-yarder.
That's 4 penalties for East Lansing for 40 yards. And it puts it inside the 30-yard line at the 27. First and 10, Grand Ledge at the East Lansing 27. 4:46 left in the first half. East Lansing up 21-14. East Lansing a little too aggressive there.
Yeah, the defenders committed too far up the field.
Bonet in the shotgun. Going to hand up the middle. Mac Foreman. Nice little gain there. He gets inside the 25, going between center and left guard. Gets down to the 23-yard line, gain of 4. 2nd and 6.
It was well blocked because East Lansing had brought the blitz. They actually ran into the blitz on the left side.
23, Isaiah McCrary Sams on the tackle. Junior for EL. Grand Ledge taking their time. East Lansing won the toss, deferred to the second half, so EL will get the ball to start quarter number 3, the second half. That's what I meant to say. Bonet's going to take it himself, gets away from an initial defender, and then gets taken down at the 25-yard line.
Uh-oh.
Loss of 2.
And flags come in.
Okay.
Let's see where this is at. This one on East Lansing again.
Personal foul, face mask, East Lansing.
That moves the chains.
That may be half the distance.
Yes, because it's inside the 25.
Well, let's see where they spot it.
I think the 12? A 13? It's a 13, isn't it?
Yep, 13. So 12-yard penalty there. 5 penalties for 52 yards. Coach Bill Farraco and the coaching staff that's in the booth next to us cannot be happy with that.
No, that's going to be something to be talked about at halftime.
Handoff up the middle.
Nope,
that's Bonet. He's keeping it, and he initially got away from a couple defenders and then maybe got 1 yard to the 11-yard line.
He should have handed it off, Brock. You said handoff up the middle. He should have done that.
That was a 13-yard penalty because they marked it at the 12. So he gets 1 yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 11. 3:37 and counting first half. Grand Ledge taking their time. Hey, I would too.
Looking at the sideline, checking their play sheet on their armband.
2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Baker in the backfield, and he gets snowed under. Great penetration by East Lansing. Number 4, Daryl Getter and company take him down outside the 15. They're going to mark him down at the 17. Yeah, 17-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and a bunch.
Lost 6 yards on that play. They can still get a first down.
Yes. Got to get to the 1 yard line. Or at least the 2. No, they got to get to the 2 yard line. 2:44 and counting. Grand Ledge might take a timeout here. They're taking their time. Looks like one of the coaches is standing next to the head linesman. They may call timeout, and they do. Grand Ledge will take their first timeout. Think about what they're going to do here. They have 2 remaining. 2:32 left in the first half. East Lansing 21, Grand Ledge 14. 30-second break, and we're back on the game. 7:30 a.m. WVFN.
Lansing Sports Station. The game, 7:30 a.m.
Brock Palmbos, Erik Doc Love, here at Grand Ledge Community Field. Comets trailing the East Lansing Trojans 21-14 with 2:32 left in the first half. Grand Ledge coming out of a timeout. They have 2 remaining in this half. East Lansing has all 3 timeouts.
Good timeout by Coach Joe Bry. Talk things over. A long 3rd and 16. You're hoping you can pick up maybe 8-10 yards out of this and then go for it on 4th down. If you don't get the first down here on 3rd, obviously.
They do have a kicker. Colin Flynn's back from an injury, who can kick field goals. Bonet rolling left, dropping, looking, flips it out to the left. Incomplete pass. Incomplete. He tried to flip it out to Mac Foreman, number 11, at the very last minute. It's going to be 4th down, and it looks like
Landon Pilcher coming out there.
they're going to kick the field. They're going to kick a field goal. They're going to try a field goal. Is that Pilcher?
Yeah, it said 27 who ran out there.
Yep, Landon Pilcher.
Pilcher the kicker, Cooper Parks the holder.
34-yard field goal. Ball on the left hash mark. Right on the left hash mark. So there is an angle. Snap is good. Placement is good. The kick is blocked. Kick is blocked by East Lansing. Ball goes out of bounds. East Lansing takes over.
Right up the middle.
Good drive for Grand Ledge. Comes up with nothing. And now East Lansing takes over with all 3 timeouts and 2:24 left. And they get the ball to start quarter number 3.
Yep. Longer field goal, obviously, so you got to keep the ball a little lower trajectory. The wind is blowing, I don't know, from the northwest, it looks like.
There are no flags on the top of each of the goalposts.
But the American flag in the
from
west
the northwest,
side.
from the northwest. Yeah, so whatever wind was the wind was blowing in his face. Would have been a difficult call, but hey, you can't fault him for trying a 34-yard field goal. That situation on 4th and long. Ben Fletcher under center. Hands off to the running back. That is Duarte Sams. Ball went out of bounds at the 14-yard line, so they take over there.
It's Clarizio, by the way, with the run.
That was Clarizio?
Yep.
See, I'm getting them confused again. And now we got a whistle and a stoppage.
We got a
Grand Ledge player down. They're going to give Clarizio 6 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and short. 2:07 left in the first half. East Lansing up 21-14.
Trying to see a number. He's getting up off the turf, so that's good. It's number 80 for Grand Ledge. Henry Millbrook, a junior defensive lineman.
Junior, yep. Offensive and defensive lineman. He's not putting any weight on his right leg.
No.
Oh, boy.
It's too bad. Hopefully it's not as serious as it appears to be. Maybe it's...
might be done for the night.
Yeah.
Well, and we know it's a right leg injury. Fletcher under center. Is that Clarizio behind him?
Yep.
And he gets the ball, fakes right, goes left, gets away, 15, 20, gets a block downfield, 25, 30. Pushed out of bounds, 35, maybe the 36-yard line into the Grand Ledge bench. 1st and 10, East Lansing.
Mac Foreman didn't get off the block. The wide receiver out there, Clarizio's still running right now. That was another counter play. It was supposed to go right, but there was nothing happening over there for Clarizio, so he bounced it to the left.
Gets a good mark to the 39. I thought it was the 36. He's out to the 39. Big gain.
19 yards on that one.
Clock running, 1:40 to go and counting. East Lansing, all 3 timeouts. And remember, they won the coin flip and deferred to the second half. They'll get the ball to start quarter number 3. Oh, Ben Fletcher fell on the ground. Fumble, picked up by Grand Ledge, and they've got it. He fumbled the ball just before he hit the ground. It looked like his feet got tangled up with either the center or the left guard.
One of the linemen, yeah.
And a break for the Comets. Austin Brown with the recovery. And now Grand Ledge is in business with 1:25 left in the first half. They're down by 7, and they'll take over on the East Lansing 30.
Yeah, got tripped up. One of the linemen stepped backwards and actually put his foot on, his cleat down on the quarterback Fletcher, and as he was falling down, lost control of the ball.
Minute 25, and now we got a flag down.
I think we have unsportsmanlike from East Lansing on the sideline.
Oh, man. So that's 15 yards. Ball's at the 30-yard line, so
yeah,
Coach Farraco cannot be happy with these penalties. That's the 6th penalty for them.
He's out on the field right now. He's coming close to the
numbers.
Yeah. He wants an explanation from the referee as to he thought Fletcher was down before the ball came out.
He may have a case. It was close.
I thought he was down, but the referee said the ball had come out before. I thought that he fell to the ground and then the ball came out.
Because if he falls to the ground and then the ball comes out,
he's just down.
He's just down.
That's what Farraco thinks.
Have to check out the video on that one.
Mm-hmm.
It was close. There's no doubt about that.
Nope. And the unsportsmanlike adds to Grand Ledge's field chances here. Nope.
Now we got a whistle and we got a flag. This is going to be on Grand Ledge.
I think they started too early. The referee wasn't ready.
Delay.
Okay. Well, the referee wasn't anywhere near the play. He was still getting himself set, and he was about, 15, 20 yards behind the play.
Right.
And then they took too much time, apparently. But I thought it was because they were waiting for him.
1st and 15 from the 20-yard line of East Lansing.
It's been a wacky game. It's been a wacky first
PA
half.
announcer John Anderson said, apparently delay of game.
Yeah. That's what I said. I thought they were waiting for the referee to get set.
Maybe the ball wasn't ready for play, but apparently it was. Bonet takes a snap, goes over left side. He's inside the 15, down to the 11-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 6, 1:12 and counting first half. And if you're Grand Ledge, you want to score with less than 15 seconds left.
Well, you just want to score at this point.
Yeah, true.
You want a touchdown before the half ends.
But they're taking their time because they don't want East Lansing to get the ball. Bonet in the gun. Handoff. Is that Baker? Yes, it is. He gets outside. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Touchdown, Grand Ledge.
You're not worried about times, Brock, when you're scoring 11-yard touchdowns.
The freshman, Anthony Baker, 11-yard touchdown. And it's 21-20, East Lansing.
Got to the outside, and no Trojan was catching him. Been a lot of players out of position in this ball game, Brock.
Oh, we got a late flag.
Well, of course we do.
Officials are conferring.
We've had plenty of those tonight, too.
Holding on Grand Ledge.
Declined.
Blindside block.
So is that going to wipe the touchdown off?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
The initial call was declined by East Lansing. The second call was a blindside block accepted by East Lansing.
So that takes the touchdown away.
Moves it back from the 11 to the 26. 4 penalties for 45 yards. So wipe the touchdown off. It was a late flag, Doc.
Yeah, I didn't see either flag.
45.3 seconds left. 2nd and 21 for Grand Ledge at the 26-yard line. Bonet dropping to throw. Looking, trying to get away. He's sacked. And another late flag.
I think he was looking for the underneath screen and got stopped up by the Trojans. We're going to get holding on Grand Ledge?
If it is, if I'm East Lansing, I decline it.
Yeah. Because that would make it 3rd down and 21. Comets are moving back a little bit. And they're asking, do they want to take the penalty or if they want to decline it?
.2 seconds left in this first half.
I mean, it's okay if you take it.
It's second. It's second in a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's second in what, 31?
Something like that. Holding, offense.
We'll take it.
They're going to take the penalty.
Okay.
That's now 5 penalties on Grand Ledge for 55 yards. East Lansing, 6 penalties for 68 yards. It's going to be second and, from the 36-yard line. 2nd and 31?
Second and
that's what it's
J.W. Sexton, basically.
Man.
That's
easy 2nd
here.
and 31. Bonet throws out to the right. It's caught at the 30, out of bounds. Inside the 30. It's caught by number 15. Logan Schaefer, number 15.
No, 16.
16, rather. He's a senior wide receiver. That play just designed to get about 10 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And where are they going to mark it here?
You got 8.
Ball has not been placed on the ground yet. There it is. Nope, there it is. It's at the 28. So, yes, a gain of 8. 3rd and 23. Got out of bounds. Clock is stopped. 32 seconds left. Bonet dropping straight back to throw. Looking. He's going to run. Get out there. 30, 25, 20. Out of bounds.
Ooh.
Late flag.
Yep. He was
out of bounds
when he hit him.
And Bonet pats the East Lansing player on the head saying, thank you very much.
Yep.
You just gave us a first down.
Yeah, he just picked up 10 yards on the ground, and then that gives you the automatic.
And that was the correct call. We had a good view of that one.
He was 2 yards out of bounds. He was in the fat white on the sideline, if you want to call it.
Yep.
The big, thick white line.
Correct. So he got knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line? So it'll be half the distance from there.
To the 9?
To the 9-yard line. 7 penalties for 77 yards. And that's an automatic first down.
Yep.
24.6 seconds left.
He picked up 10 on the ground and then tack on the 9 and the automatic first down. And the Grand Ledge is going to call timeout.
And a timeout. Their second timeout. They have one left, and we'll take one ourselves. You're listening to high school football on the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN East Lansing, a Town Square media station.
WVFN.
Brett Palmbos, Erik Doc Love here at the Grand Ledge Community Field. The officials are conversing right now. The down marker says 4th down. It's not an automatic first down. Dead ball after the play. So the play counts and then the penalty yardage. So it will be 4th down from the 9-yard line. 4th and 4. And if you're Grand Ledge, obviously you go for it.
Yes.
Here. They've already had a field goal blocked.
You got a tight formation here.
Mac Foreman next to Bonet in the shotgun. Whistle. Timeout East Lansing.
Yep. Farraco saw the offensive line set and what the play was going to look like and called timeout.
Well, I'll tell you once again, as we cross the 8 o'clock hour, you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage, the game 7:30 a.m. WVFN East Lansing, a Town Square media station. Also on the Lansing Sports Network. Dowding Industries presentation of high school football brought to you in part by the Lansing Sports Commission. No matter the sport, the Lansing Sports Commission can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find out more at lansingsports.org. And by Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries, recognizing the effort and commitment athletes give to the sport of football. Now, always interested in individuals that have the drive and desire to be successful in work and in life. Check them out at dowdingindustries.com. You may find a successful future here. We'll have halftime stats and analysis coming up at halftime, and we'll get to other scores around the mid-Michigan area. Whatever we got via the Twitterverse, we'll have them for you.
I can give you one right now. It is halftime.
Go.
Williamston 8, Goodrich 7.
Williamston playing for a home playoff game in Division 5. They are ranked 7th, and they may, even if they lose, they might get it. But
playing a tough Goodrich team too.
Yes, highly ranked, I understand. All right, here we go. 4th and 4. Bonet. Double handoff, reverse handoff. Grand Ledge has it inside the 5. It's going to be close to a first down.
The reverse handoff.
That was number 6.
Zachariah Jones.
Zachariah Jones, who ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. They mark it at the 5.
You got it.
He got the first down. How about that?
Needed those 4, and he just picked it up.
17 seconds left in the first half.
You got to go quick because the ball's going to, unless he ran out of bounds, he get out of bounds? No, we didn't. Did he? He must have been out of bounds.
Must have got out of bounds. The clock is stopped. Bonet rolling out to the right. Throws out to the right.
Ooh.
Incomplete pass. He tried to get it to his tight end. Was that Jones again?
Yeah.
It'll be second down.
Noah Lopez jumped the route and almost picked it off. And if he had picked that off, Brock, he had lots of green in front of him.
You were talking 90-plus yard pick six. 15 seconds left in the first half. Second and goal from the 5.
You can still run the ball because you have one more timeout.
Yes, you do. You have one timeout left. East Lansing has 2. Bonet in the gun. Foreman next to him. 4 wide receivers. They're going to fake handoff to Foreman. Bonet's going to throw. And he just throws it away. Rolled out to the right, way outside the pocket, and he just threw it into the cheerleading section.
Yep.
10.7 seconds left in this first half. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
I think he was trying to find Foreman out of the backfield after he faked the handoff. Foreman rolled out left, but the pressure came from the left side from Bonet,
Right.
so he had to start running to the right.
And smartly,
Again,
way outside the pocket, he just throws it into the
Throws out of bounds.
into the sideline, out of bounds, right into the Grand Ledge cheerleading section. The varsity cheerleaders.
And again, you can still run the ball with 10.7 left in a timeout.
With one timeout left, you sure can. Don't take too long, though.
Nope.
Bonet in the gun. He's going to take it himself. Option pitch. That's Foreman to the 5. Fumbled. It's caught by East Lansing. Lost the ball, and it's picked off by B.J. Wyndham, number 1, and East Lansing takes over inside their own 10. Ball popped in the air, Doc.
Yep.
And B.J. Wyndham picks it off, and East Lansing takes over on their own 9-yard line.
Second turnover of the ball game, first one for Grand Ledge.
Yep.
And it came at the worst opportunity, the worst timing for them.
So East
turn them away.
Lansing commits a turnover, but doesn't allow any points.
Mm-hmm.
Man. And now if you're East Lansing, you just take a knee and get out of here.
You don't pull a Miami from 2 weeks ago and try and run the ball.
Roll my eyes, man, on that one. That is an all-timer.
Yeah.
Yep. East Lansing in the victory formation, and they're going to take a knee. Ben Fletcher under center. Takes the snap, takes a knee, and we have reached halftime. 2, 1. We've hit all zeros. 24 minutes down, 24 to go. East Lansing leading Grand Ledge 21-14. We've got halftime stats and analysis coming up, plus we'll get you scores from around the mid-Michigan area. And we got a bit of an extended halftime. It is senior night here at Grand Ledge High School, so a little bit of an extended halftime. So we'll have plenty of time, and it looks like the Grand Ledge Band is going to play Send in the Clowns like they did on homecoming a few weeks ago.
That was on our streak of, 3 homecomings in a row?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
We finally broke that after a while.
We did.
Thankfully.
Finally. We've reached halftime at Grand Ledge Community Field. East Lansing leading the Comets of Grand Ledge 21-14. We'll take a timeout and come back because right now it's time for another edition of This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
The football regular season is winding down with playoffs on the horizon and an all-time first in MHSAA football history. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Welcome to Week 9 of the football season, the final week of the regular season. All across Michigan, schools are looking to get into the playoffs or earn home field advantage for at least one game. Let's run through how it all works. There are 8 divisions of 11-player football. The top 32 in each division will qualify for the playoffs, and that's based on a team's playoff points. From there, the 32 teams are grouped into 8 4-team districts. The team with the higher playoff points will host. District play starts October 27th with district finals the following week. After districts, we're down to 8 teams in each division, and they'll play regionals on either November 10th or 11th. Those winners advance to the semifinals on November 18th, and then it's on to Ford Field for the MHSAA Finals November 25th and 26th. Remember that those games are on Saturday and Sunday this year. For 8-player football, there are 2 divisions. 16 teams in each will qualify in the MHSAA Finals are November 18th at the Superior Dome in Marquette. How do you know who makes the playoffs? Tune into the Selection Sunday show this Sunday at 6 p.m., airing live on Bally Sports Detroit Extra. And then after the show, brackets will be posted at MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, where we highlight a trio of standout performances from the last week. First, to Bullitt Creek senior Logan Corson. He scored 4 times in a soccer district win over Standish Sterling. The 4 give him 68 career goals, making him the school's all-time leading goal scorer. He's also their all-time leader in assists. South Lyon East Caitlin Berry. Her 15 kills in a match against South Lyon helped the Cougars to a 4-set win and a Lakes Valley Conference outright title. And at Kingsford, Elizen Roos. He ran for 330 yards and 6 touchdowns in a 41-32 win over Menominee. The win gives Kingsford at least a share of the West Pac Conference title.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
Today's You Make the Call takes us to the tennis court. We're in the middle of a volley when I hit a shot with a ton of spin on it. It goes over the net, bounces, and then spins back over the net towards me without being hit by my opponent. What's the call? My opponent never hit the ball, so I win the point. The same rule applies if it's wind, not spin, blowing the ball back over the net. My opponent could have returned my shot even if they had to reach over the net to do so, as long as they don't touch the net while returning. If my opponent hits the net in the process of returning my shot, it is also my point.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. Bear Lake's 8-player football team won for the first time this year on October 7th, a 26-0 victory over Baldwin. In doing so, their coach, Sam Mullett, became the first woman in MHSAA history to win a football game as head coach. Mullett took over Bear Lake this season, and she's a Lakers grad. She talked to state champs after the game.
The biggest thing I would say is be yourself. The boys can really see through when you're trying to be something that you're not. And they just really want authenticity, and they want someone that can help them win. And from the NFL to high school, I've never found anybody that questioned, what I look like, or that I'm a female. They just want to know, what are you going to do to help me win? Because ultimately that's the goal at every level, is how can we be successful?
Bear Lake closes out the season at Engadine. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Brock Palmbos, Erik Love back here at Community Field at Grand Ledge, adjacent to the high school, Grand Ledge High School. The Comets of Grand Ledge trailing the East Lansing Trojans 21-14 as we hit halftime. Dowding Industries, Jeff Metz Dowding Industries, our great sponsor tonight and all season long. We thank him and their great staff. They want to congratulate all the athletes playing around the state tonight and all season long. They also understand you have learned leadership, hard work, and a positive attitude. These traits do translate into real life, and they're interested in your skills. To find a strong future and a career for life, check them out. DowdingIndustries.com. And by our great sponsor, the Lansing Sports Commission, Megan Zemer and her great staff. It seems like 24/7, 365, always bringing great events and great and unique events to the mid-Michigan area. No matter the sport, the Lansing Sports Commission can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find out more at lansingsports.org. And yes, the U.S. National Horseshoe Championships took place at the Lansing Center. Man, they were very happy with what the Lansing Sports Commission did this summer.
That's cool.
And it worked out. Great event. Events like that, hey, you just go to lansingsports.org to find more information. East Lansing leads it over Grand Ledge 21-14. Let's get to the scoring summary here. It was absolutely wild. Grand Ledge took the opening kickoff. It was taken. Who was it taken by? It wasn't
Zechariah Jones. Well, it was Noah McCartney.
McCartney originally fielded the kickoff, and then the next thing you know, there's Zechariah Jones running down the field for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. It was just absolutely just a huge cluster. You know what? And Zechariah Jones eventually took it 87 yards for a touchdown. Extra point by Colin Flynn was good. And 13 seconds into this game, it was 7-0 Grand Ledge. So what happens after that? East Lansing takes the ball. Runs. Oh, no, Grand Ledge tried an onside kick. That's right.
Yep.
They tried an onside kick, didn't get it. East Lansing, first play from scrimmage, Ben Fletcher to Owen Fortman. Just a screen pass over the middle. Looked like he was only going to get 5 or 6 yards. He breaks away from the defense and takes it 52 yards for a score. Extra point by number 34. Isaiah Armstrong was good. We were tied at 7. 28 seconds into this game. We're not kidding. 28 seconds into this game, it was a 7-7 game. After a Grand Ledge punt, East Lansing went on a long drive, and junior running back Jace Clarizio finished it with a 9-yard touchdown run. Extra point good by Armstrong. 14-7 East Lansing at that point, and that's what it was at the end of the first half of play. First play from scrimmage, second quarter, literally first play from scrimmage in the second quarter. Preston Bonet, the Grand Ledge quarterback, takes it 37 yards on a quarterback drive, breaking a couple of tackles on the way. Extra point by Colin Flynn, good. Extra point good, so it was 14-14 at that point. First play of the second quarter. And then not long after that, 2.5 minutes after that, East Lansing, Jace Clarizio, 55-yard touchdown run. Extra point, Armstrong, good. 21-14 East Lansing, and that's where we are at this point. Both teams had chances to score after that. Grand Ledge had a 34-yard field goal by Landon Pilcher blocked, but then on the next drive, East Lansing was called for they fumbled. Ben Fletcher, as he was taking the ball back from center, he tripped over either the left guard or the center's foot, and as he was going to the ground, the officials say, they say he fumbled the ball. Grand Ledge was able to pick it back up, and so it was a turnover for East Lansing. Grand Ledge took the ball inside the 5-yard line in the final, minute or so? Yeah, in the final, less than a minute to go in the first half, and then Mac Foreman, he fumbled the ball. Ball flipped up into the air. East Lansing picked it up on the next to last play of the first half, so East Lansing was able to stop them, and so that was it right there, and that was all the scoring. But both teams threatened and had chances to score in addition to that. Each team's committed one turnover, as I just mentioned. Penalty-wise, lots of penalties. Yes. East Lansing, 7 penalties for 77 yards. Grand Ledge, 5 penalties for 55 yards. And East Lansing won the coin flip and deferred to the second half, so they will receive the second half kickoff. Your turn, sir.
Well, thank you, Brock. East Lansing total yards 243 to Grand Ledge's 169. East Lansing 180 yards on the ground rushing the ball. Jace Clarizio 11 carries, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Man.
Duarte Sams Jr. 7 carries for 40 yards. And Ben Fletcher a perfect 2 for 2 for 63 yards in that one long touchdown. So East Lansing offense rolling. Besides that turnover, they're doing a great job moving the ball.
They are.
Especially on the ground. For Grand Ledge in the comments, Preston Bonet 4 for 8 for 22 yards. Does have 11 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Baker 6 carries for 31 yards. And Zechariah Jones has an 87-yard kickoff return for touchdowns. So 243 to 169. East Lansing clearly doing the dirty work on the ground.
They are. Man.
Offensive line is creating some holes, but the running backs are getting a lot of that done themselves.
Because they're fast.
Yeah.
Duarte Sams and Jace Clarizio, who's just been terrific tonight. Battling injuries all season long.
Yep.
Good to see him healthy. Number one, good to see him healthy. And, man, he's hurting Grand Ledge tonight.
Comets got to make some adjustments in the second half, trying to slow down that run game.
We'll get the keys in the second half. Keys for the second half coming up. We'll also get the scores from around the Mid-Michigan area coming up on the other side of this break. You're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by our title sponsor, Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
WVFN Lansing Sports Leader.
Brock Palmbos, Erik, Doc Love back here at Grand Ledge High School. East Lansing leading Grand Ledge 21-14. We're at halftime. If East Lansing wins this game tonight, they're the outright CAAC Blue champs. If Grand Ledge wins, they get a share of the title with East Lansing. And it's looking like DeWitt, they were winning in their game over Waverly. I do have a couple of scores for myself via Twitter. Mason is leading Fenton right now, 35-7 right before the half. And at halftime, Pewamo Westphalia leading Lansing Catholic 27-6.
Ionia's up on Lakewood 20-0. That's in the CAAC White. Ionia needing a win to get into the playoffs.
Win that game, and they're probably in.
Halftime at 8-player football. Martin 26, Maple Valley 6. Maple Valley uneligible to make the playoffs,
Because
right?
too many kids, too high of an enrollment to qualify for 8-player playoffs.
Halftime, Williamson 8, Goodrich 7. Williamson trying to get a home playoff game with a win. Corona's up 21-7 on Armada at halftime.
Yep, Armada, home of Dick Enberg.
Yep.
Corona on the edges. They've had a great year, have the Corona Cavaliers. They're going to be 9-0, it looks like.
This was from half an hour ago, but Fowlerville 8, Charlotte 8. That was at halftime.
Fowlerville needs to win and get a lot of help. If Charlotte loses, could they be left out?
Maybe.
A win certainly puts them in, and they may get in even if they lose, but I want to win that game.
Yeah, it was 21-0. DeWitt was beating Waverly. That was like 30 minutes ago. Last time I got an update for that one. Olivet was losing. I think it was 26-0, 27-0. That was in the second half. Let me double check that one. Yeah, it was 27-0 at halftime. Olivet was down to Gull Lake. That's all I got, Brock. You got any more scores? I haven't been able to find anything else.
Sexton was leading Eastern 14-0 in the first quarter. We had that just as we went on the air. They started early tonight. I believe that was a 6 o'clock start, so that game may be done right now.
Might be over with, yeah.
I am texting one of my contacts who's at that game because that's not being updated via Twitter. So.
No.
Let's give one more round of applause.
So let's see here. Well, Doc, while we're waiting for some more updates here via Twitter, keys to the second half. First for the East Lansing, who's leading right now.
I mean, if you can keep the run game going, you're fine. Clarizio and Sams Jr. have been fantastic on the ground. So, offensively, as long as your line has been controlling that line of scrimmage like they're supposed to, running the ball, you don't have to really change too much for Coach Bill Fracco. Penalties, you got to stop having penalties on offense and defense. That's probably the biggest key for the Trojans second half. You can't have any more penalties like they have. 7 for 77?
7 for 77 yards. Grand Ledge 5 for 55. It's a factor for both teams.
Yeah, penalties most likely. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, Ionia leading Lakewood 20-0. Ionia needs to win that game to have a chance to get in the playoffs. They're 31st right now in Division 4. Win that, they probably get in.
Yeah. So East Lansing, number one for me, penalties. You got to cut the penalties. Can't have any of those anymore in the second half, especially ones that are after the play or unsportsmanlike, whatever it may be. Cannot have any more of those types. And then run the ball. Keep running the ball. Throw a pass in here every once in a while just to keep the defense honest because the Comets are going to start collapsing. And that's my biggest thing for Grand Ledge in the second half is commit to stopping the run. You've got to commit to stopping the run. And if you give up a long
commit more guys to the box,
you're going to have to. You hate to do that because it gives you, they go play action. Somebody might be out of position and you're going to give up a long touchdown pass. But you can't allow Clarizio and Sams Jr. just keep running all over you like they have been. So commit more guys to the box. Got to stop that run defensively. And on the offensive side, I want to see Baker to get some more carries in the second half. Anthony Baker only had 6 carries in the first half. I want him to get a little bit more involved. I don't know what his pass-catching ability is. Maybe you can set up a screen for him, too, because we know he's got some power, and he can run some guys over. So Baker to get some more touches in the second half for the Comets, and Bonet to open things up a little bit more in the passing game. Get some short passes down there. They got some capable wide receivers that can catch the ball. Noah McCartney, Zechariah Jones. We saw somebody else catch the ball in the first half. Number 16, that was Logan Schaefer as well. So they've got some capable wide receivers. So get the passing game going a little bit, open things up, and then that will allow Anthony Baker, Mac Foreman, and Bonet to get some more runs on the ground. Anything else for you, Brock? You got any more scores over there?
I'm still looking for some other scores here for around the mid-Michigan area and having just about as good a success as you are.
Here we go. Third quarter. Fowlerville 15, Charlotte 14. That one just got updated. So
Okay.
Fowlerville, like you said, needing a win and some help, and Charlotte needing the win to stay in, basically.
Olivet trailing Richland Gull Lake 27-0. Olivet's got to get that, got to get a win there, and it's not looking promising for them. They're 30th in Division 6. That'd be a disappointment if Olivet doesn't make the playoffs. Gabe Pretty's taken over as the coach once again, his second stint as head coach, and that'd be disappointing for them. First year in the CAAC White.
I'll say they struggled in the White. It's been tough for them making that transition from the now defunct GLAC into the CAAC White, and White's a competitive and very tough conference. But all three divisions in the CAAC are real tough. But the White is one of the underrated ones for the smaller schools. Not a small school, but the smaller schools in the area. I mean, Portland and Lansing Catholic have been dominating the White for years and years. And, and Sexton's played much better, obviously, this year. And Charlotte's played better in recent years, too. So the White's no joke when you're talking about division.
Might be the best league in the area this year.
Yeah, possibly.
Better balance.
Yeah. Halftime, DeWitt 22, Waverly nothing. That just popped up.
22?
Yep, 22-0 at half.
All right. So it looks like DeWitt, looks like it anyway, they're going to finish at 6-2 and 5-1 in the
Blue?
CAAC Blue.
Yep. Their one loss coming to
East Lansing.
Yes. They were able to get the Comets a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
When Grand Ledge was having injury issues at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wild game.
And it's pretty obvious Grand Ledge is better off with Preston Bonet at their quarterback as opposed to anybody else.
Well, I mean, obviously they would prefer to have their original starter in there and Jameson Patton, but
very likely out for the year.
Yes.
They've told me he's out for the year, but hey, if they make a long run,
you never know.
You never know.
Goodrich has just scored on Williamston. 8:08 left in the third. It's 14-6. Goodrich leading Williamston.
14 to 8.
14-8. Yep. That just popped
Waverly
up.
has just scored.
Okay.
They now trail DeWitt 22-7 early in the third quarter. You know, Waverly's a team that's been competitive with a lot of teams this year. Almost beat Grand Ledge. They've been competitive with some other teams. So, you know, I mean, it's been a struggle for them. They're probably going to finish. They're going to finish below 500. We know that. They're 2-6 right now, but they've been more competitive than 2-6. Both teams are now out onto the field, and we're getting ready to kick off here this third quarter. Grand Ledge will kick off to start quarter number 3. Had a bit of an extended halftime. It is senior night here at Grand Ledge.
We saw the players and cheerleaders get the pregame.
Yep.
And then the halftime was for the band. Because they've got a rather large band here in Grand Ledge.
Yes, they do, and it's historically been really, really good.
When you're a Division I school as large as they are, you're more than likely going to have a lot of players. You're going to have a lot of band members, that's for sure.
Grand Ledge will be going from left to right across your radio here in the third quarter.
They're going to head west into this wind.
Yes, wind is a factor. You mentioned that on the blocked field goal. It is going from northwest to southeast.
And it's breezy. That flag has not stopped moving since we got here.
Well, let me check my weather app just to see what it says.
Wind speed. The rain has not happened. The rain went away, thankfully.
13 miles an hour.
Okay,
so 10 to 15 miles an hour. That looks about right.
Yep.
That looks about right. All right, Grand Ledge is going to kick off. That's, I believe that's Landon Pilcher. Yes, it is. Landon Pilcher. He's going to kick off for Grand Ledge. It's a squib kick right up the middle. And it's going to be taken at the 16-yard line and fallen on. Number one, B.J. Wyndham, he just fell on it at the 16-yard line. As Grand Ledge's kick coverage team was bearing down on him, and he just decided to fall on it. He couldn't do anything else. He picked it up. He would have gotten hit hard.
Yes. That's the Pilcher's been doing that all night, too. They've been squibbing it the entire time. And
it's giving East Lansing some problems.
It is.
Remember they tried an onside kick, almost got it, and then that's the second time that a squib kick's given EL problems.
So last one, it bounced over somebody's head, and there were a couple Comets in the area if somebody had fallen on top of it for the Trojans.
All right, here we go. Ben Fletcher under center. Tight formation here. Jace Clarizio behind him. Single back. Man in motion. That's Charlie Baker. Pitch. Right side. Clarizio, he's got room. 25, close to the 30-yard line, first down.
Zechariah Jones with the hit, but not again. They're getting him into the space, and he's using his speed.
13 yards for Clarizio. Good blocking as well. Pitch it out, get him in some space.
Well, they had a tight end, a wide receiver, and an H-back over on the right side, and student body left, essentially. Toss it out
Or
there.
right.
Or right, yeah.
Yeah. Clarizio, tight, same exact formation. Now it's just a handoff to Clarizio. Right side, 30, 35, 40. High stepping it to the 45, close to midfield.
Bonet shoved him out of bounds.
They mark him out at the 49-yard line. Yeah, almost to midfield. And, man, after 2 plays, they're at midfield. Gain of 20.
Yeah, that's 33 yards in 2 plays. He's going to have 200 yards in this ballgame easy.
Maybe by the end of this quarter.
Yeah.
11:31 to go, third quarter, 21-14 East Lansing.
He had 142 at half, and now he just added 33 to that.
Man. Tight formation again, man in motion. That's Baker, power to the left. Pitch, left. That's Duarte Sams. Good job by Grand Ledge. Number 25, Cooper Parks. Number 15, Gabe Lopez. Number 16, Logan Schaefer in on that one. Loss of 1.
That's their first minus-yard run play, not including the kneel down.
Right.
From Ben Fletcher right before the half. So they've had positive yards every single play on the ground besides that one.
Sam's in the game. Clarizio getting a breather. 2nd and 11. Offset eye to the left. Handoff Sam's up the middle. He's into Grand Ledge territory to the 47-yard line. Gain of 4. If you're Grand Ledge, I think you're happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be 3rd down and long. 3rd and 6, it looks like.
6? Yeah, you're right. 6.
Gain of 5. Officially gain of 5.
Comets subbing in another defensive lineman, trying to keep guys fresh out there. Gabe Bewley, a senior, comes in to anchor the interior of that D-line.
Fletcher jogs in from the bench. Gets the play from Coach Bill Farraco. And now he's in the shotgun. Sam's next to him. 4 wide receivers. 3 right, 1 left. Fletcher drops the throw. Screen pass out to the right. It's incomplete. Incomplete pass.
Looking for B.J. Wyndham, trying to get that wide receiver screen to the right.
Out. It was too far out in front of him. The officials say it was a forward pass. And so it'll be 4th down, and it looks like East Lansing's going to punt for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, big stop for Grand Ledge.
Absolutely. After 33 yards in 2 plays on the ground, they tighten up and don't let the Trojans advance the ball anymore.
34, Isaiah Armstrong, first punt of the night for EL. Let's try that again. Opts to punt to try to get Grand Ledge inside their own 10-yard line.
Zechariah Jones back for the Comets. He's at the 12.
High snap. Good job, Armstrong. Now he fumbles it. He's going to run for it. Try to get it away. He does get it away. Short punt. Out of bounds at the 30. Late flag.
There are 2 flags. This might be roughing the punter. If you can believe it or not, this might be roughing.
They were trying to tackle him.
He was still behind the line of scrimmage.
I tell you, Armstrong did a good job of just getting that kick away.
It was high, and we thought he collected it. Nope, dropped it on the ground. Started running around. Couple of Comets around him.
Understandably so.
Yep, scrambles to the left. Boots it left-footed.
Illegal block on East Lansing.
So it's a block in the back.
So they'll decline it. Okay.
So it wasn't roughing. It was a block in the back.
So they'll take the result of the play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? What was it? At the 47
to the 31.
16-yard punt. Hey, that's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Because you would have given the ball to Grand Ledge inside your own 40-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes exactly in the third quarter. Grand Ledge trailing East Lansing 21-14. Hey, good job by Isaiah Armstrong. High snap from center.
Yep.
He thought he had it for a moment, and then he dropped it, and then picked it up, scrambled out to the left, and he had enough room to get the kick away. Only 16 yards, but better than the alternative.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10, Grand Ledge on their own 31-yard line. Preston Bonet in the gun. believe that's Foreman. No, that's Anthony Baker with it. He's going to roll out to the left. He's got room 30, 35, 40. Cuts inside, out over the 45, but a flag.
More laundry.
Flag is right by where the first down was going to be made at the 41-yard line.
We got to the 46, the 47, but what's the flag?
It's holding on Grand Ledge. If holding Grand Ledge.
But it's downfield, so it's going to end up being 1st and 10 anyway.
Maybe 1st and 9. Because it is a 10-yard, it is a spot foul, and it was downfield.
Nope, exactly 10.
Nope.
Okay, 11.
No, it's actually 12.
Oh, jeez. They keep moving the flag on me.
Now the officials are going to talk about this, and now they're going to reposition it. It is 1st and 10. We were right the first time.
I was correct the first time.
You were. The officials got it wrong.
Yeah. I want their paycheck, too.
6 penalties for 65 yards for Grand Ledge. 1st and 10. Bonet rolling out right. Not much there.
Nope.
Excellent job by East Lansing. Number 5, Julius Goodwin and company were there.
Pursuit got to the outside.
33. Cervante Bailey was there as well. It's 2nd and 10.
Pursuit got all the way out there. Bonet couldn't find a crease.
Grand Ledge taking their time. 9:15 to go in the third quarter. East Lansing 21, Grand Ledge 14.
Unbalanced line.
Second time they're doing it again. Inside handoff to Baker, not much there. He does get 2 yards out to the 33-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and long. And now the wind looks like it's picking up.
Yeah,
it is. It's stronger than 15 miles an hour right now.
I see some stuff blowing across the field. And
hot dog wrappers, pieces of paper.
Something, yeah, and the flag is straight across.
That's a good 20 miles an hour out there right now. Glad we're in the press box. And good decision by you telling me, Brock, turn the heater on. Bonet in the gun. He's going to roll out to the right. Now he's going to look to throw. He's going to jump past it. It is caught by Zachariah Jones behind the line of scrimmage, and he's tackled at the 29. He lost the ball. Picked up by East Lansing. That's picked up by number 8. That is Noah Lopez. Turnover Grand Ledge, and East Lansing's in business inside the Grand Ledge 10. You had a better view of it than I did, Doc.
So that play was blown up from the very beginning, and they were looking for something down the field. He looked like he was going to play action, runs back, going down, looking for somebody down the seam. Nobody's there. Zachariah Jones is the outlet valve there. Drops it off to him. He tries to go backwards, loses control of the ball, and picked up by Lopez. 2nd turnover of the ball game.
Yes.
For the Comets.
1st and goal from the Grand Ledge 8-yard line. 8:19 to go, third quarter. East Lansing looking to go up by 2 scores. So here we go. Ben Fletcher under center. Duarte Sams behind him. Pitch, right. Sams inside the 10. Oh, he tried to jump over about 4 guys. He was successful because he got 3 yards out of it. Stopped at the 5-yard line. He tried to jump over everybody. Keep his feet. He was unable to do that, but he does get 3 yards. 2nd and goal from the 5. Ball on the just inside the right hash mark.
It's a dangerous play.
You can get hurt very easily. 2nd down and goal from the Grand Ledge 5. 7:48 and counting. Third quarter. Tight formation. Sams again. Handoff. No, that's Clarizio. Inside the 5, touchdown.
Easy one.
Jace Clarizio, his 3rd touchdown of the game, just came in for that play, and he takes it in 5 yards out. And East Lansing's up 27-14.
Barely got touched until he was crossing the goal line. Play was designed to go left, and he saw a huge hole to the right.
Yep, veered off to the right, did a good job. Isaiah Armstrong will kick the extra point here with 7:40 left.
So the turnover hurts the Comets.
Left-footed kicker, Armstrong. Ben Fletcher, this snap from center. Gets it away, gets it down, gets it through. Inside the right upright, it's good. So with 7:40 to go in quarter number 3, East Lansing leads Grand Ledge 28-14. We'll take a timeout and come back here on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, the Lansing Sports Network, and we're brought to you by the Lansing Sports Commission and by Jeff Metz and Dowding Industries.
Lansing Sports Leader, WVFN.
Brock Palmbos, Erik, Doc Love here at Grand Ledge High School. East Lansing Trojans leading 28-14. Jace Florizio, the outstanding junior running back who's been in and out of the lineup all season long due to injuries, just scored his 3rd touchdown of the game, a 5-yarder to give East Lansing a 2-touchdown lead. They're up 28-14. 7:40 to go in the 3rd quarter.
He looks pretty healthy right now.
I would say so. Here's the kick. Bombed into the end zone by Isaiah Armstrong. Of course, in high school football, if you kick it into the end zone, automatically goes into the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. And you're pointing to the flag? Yeah, the wind, which is a good 15 miles an hour right now. It's gusted higher than that just in this quarter. Comets going into the wind here in the 3rd quarter.
Olivet got on the board. Excuse me, Brock. Gull Lake 35 and Olivet 7 in the 4th.
1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. 3 wide receivers. Bonet, hands off. That's Baker out over the 20, 25, 28-yard line. Taken down there by B.J. Wyndham. He's made a couple of big plays tonight. Gain of 8. 2nd down and 2. You can still be deliberate if you're Grand Ledge. We're only in the 3rd quarter.
Yep. You're only down 2 scores. You can take your time and get down there and get a touchdown here, and you're back within 1 score.
Right.
No need to make any big changes in your offense.
Not yet, anyway. So here we go. 2nd and 2. Bonet in the gun. Man in motion. That's Zachariah Jones. Handoff Baker. Out over the 30, 31. 1st down. Needed 2. Got 3. 1st down GL.
Well, they're able to just kind of churn out some 1st downs here and move the ball effectively, and that changes things a little bit.
Clock now running. Does stop for a 1st down. It does stop for temporarily for the chains to get set when a 1st down is made. They've altered the rule in college a bit, and of course the NFL does not stop on a 1st down. Bonet, handoff again. That's Baker. He slips, and he's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Tried to cut back, and he slipped.
Turf monster got him.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Saw that cut that he needed to make, and the cleats wouldn't dig into it. It is turf here. They do have a turf field.
Yes.
Simulated grass, whatever you want to call it.
Field turf.
Yeah.
And each turf field, it's not all the same.
No.
Each one's a bit different. Some are spongier than others. Bonet. Jet sweep handoff. That's number 5. That is Noah McCartney. Goes out the left side, around the left side, over the 35 to the 36-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
First time we've seen the jet sweep action from the Comets tonight, and it worked effectively to get them 5 yards.
3rd and 5. Big play for Grand Ledge here. Lose any yardage, and you'd have to punt. Gain any yardage here, and you got to go for it.
Or at least contemplate it.
At least think about it. Correct. 5:29 to go in the 3rd quarter and counting. Clock running. Grand Ledge down by 2 scores. Bonet. Fake handoff to Baker. Bonet's going to take it himself. Not much there.
Nope.
Maybe 1. He's pushed back at the 37-yard line. Great penetration by East Lansing. Number 4, Daryl Getter and company were there. And it's going to be 4th and 4. And the offense is going to stay on the field.
A designed quarterback keeper up the middle. East Lansing blitzed right where they were supposed to run that ball.
4th and 4. It's a risky call here, but you know what? You pretty much haven't been able to stop East Lansing, and you're down by 2 scores. You're down by 1 score, you punt here, probably.
They've only stopped them the one time.
Well, twice the turnover.
Well, correct.
4th and 4, they are going to line up to go for it. They do go for it. Bonet takes it himself over to the left side. 1st down, out of bounds at the 43-yard line. He got the 1st down and then got out of bounds as soon as he could at the 44-yard line, so a gain of 7. Needed 4, got 7. GL keeps the ball.
It was a pass play, but he didn't see anybody open, and he bailed out real quick and went to the left side. No Trojans available because the receiver had vacated that area.
4:33 to go, third quarter. Clock does stop on out-of-bounds plays. It does not restart until they snap the ball, unlike college and the NFL. Handoff, Baker, left side. Oh, great trip up. That's number 23 making a great play, Isaiah McCrary-Sams. Baker might still be running if it's not for Sams getting penetration and tripping him up by the ankle.
Came flying in, and it's tough to take down Anthony Baker. He's a big boy. He's run over some people, but Sams came flying in there. The linebacker made a terrific shoestring tackle.
Loss of 1, back to the 43-yard line of GL, 2nd and 11. 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Bonet in the gun. Handoff. That's Baker out over the 45, dragging tacklers to the 47 and a late flag.
This might be an illegal hit.
Unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
We'll see. Taken down at the 47-yard line. Personal foul.
Yep.
What, hit to the head?
Yes.
Targeting.
Called targeting.
Oh, so that's 15 yards.
They launched. They're saying that a Trojan launched themselves towards the head area of Anthony Baker, who was being grappled from low, and somebody went high.
8 penalties for 92 yards. That moves the ball to the East Lansing 38-yard line.
The penalties have aided the Comets so much in this ball game. No question.
It's aided both teams, really. Grand Ledge, 6 penalties for 65 yards.
That's true, but it seems like East Lansing's have been more egregious.
Bonet in the gun. Man in motion. Fake jet sweep, whistle.
Ball start.
Just talking about Grand Ledge's penalties. That's now the 7th penalty. Illegal procedure. 7 penalties for 70 yards. East Lansing, 8 penalties for 92 yards. Both these teams are not going to be happy with all these penalties in week number 9.
No, definitely not. That one, honestly, the false start might not have been a bad thing to happen because East Lansing was all over that play and nothing was going for the Comets. They were going to lose yards no matter what on that play. So it saves them a down, technically.
It does save them a down. 1st and 15. The clock is running, 3:12 and counting. Third quarter. Both teams, all 3 timeouts, so that's not a factor yet. 4 wide receivers in the game. Now a man goes in motion. Bonet flips it out to Mac Foreman. Incomplete pass.
It was high.
Took his eye off the ball, too, Doc.
Yeah, it was high. It was up near his helmet because Bonet was trying to get it out there so quickly, and you're right, he did take his eye off it, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
Officials immediately called it a forward pass. And it was a forward pass.
Looking for the swing screen out there. Foreman was the running back, and he goes in motion out to the right. Has 2 wide receivers to try and block for him, but couldn't hang on.
2nd and 15. Ball on the left hash. They're going from left to right here, or east to west. Into the wind. Grand Ledge into the wind in this quarter. It has been a factor here in this third quarter. Bonet, quarterback draw, left side, knocked down after a 2-yard gain to the 41-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd and a bunch. 3rd and 13.
East Lansing speed from the linebackers in the secondary have been a big factor here in this ball game, and they've clamped down on that common run game more here lately.
Officially a gain of 1. They only gave him 1 on that one. Down at the 42-yard line. 2:30 left in the third quarter.
Long 14 yards right now here on 3rd down. Comets taking a long time, too, on this play.
They may have. That's down under 10. Back judge puts his hand up. Down to 5. Got to go quick. They get the play off. Bonet dropping to throw. Throws over the middle. Caught. Close to a first down. He may have it. Who's that receiver out there?
16 Schaefer again.
Number 16, Logan Schaefer. Huge gain. Ball down at the 28-yard line. What, gain of 16?
Yes.
No, No, 14.
14.
Needed 13, got 14. Man.
Schaefer just got in the right spot between two defenders from East Lansing in that secondary, and the pass from Bonet wasn't pretty, but it got there.
Bonet in the gun, inside the 30. Jet sweep again. That's Zachariah Jones. And he's going to fight forward and get a couple of yards when there really wasn't much there. He gets 2 down to the 26, so maybe even a gain of 3. It's at least 2 anyway.
No, they give him 1.
They only give him 1. Okay. So 2nd and 9. 1:10 to go in the third quarter. If you're Grand Ledge, you might want to score here before the end of this quarter.
You would like to, or at least real early in the fourth, if you don't get it here.
Down under a minute to go.
You got to score on this drive, though.
Oh, absolutely. And a touchdown, too. Field goal doesn't do any good. Inside handoff. Is that Baker again? Still going. He's still
Foreman.
going. No, that is Foreman. I'm sorry. You're right. That was Foreman. He gets down to the 20-yard line. Close to the 20. Heck of a run by Foreman.
Just wouldn't go down. Had some linemen help him stay up on his feet.
And it's going to be 3rd and short. We're down to 30 seconds to go here in the quarter, and Grand Ledge looks like they may hurry to try to get one more play off. 3rd and 2 from the East Lansing 20. Down to 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Making substitutions.
Receivers moving to different spots.
Down
on the
to
field.
15 seconds. Looking down at their wristbands. Under 10. Are they going to get the playoff? Down to 6. They do get the playoff. Handoff Baker. Inside the 20. It's going to be close to a first down, Doc. Zeros are on the clock. It's 4th down. But that's the end of the third quarter of play. We've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. East Lansing leading 28-14 over Grand Ledge, but the Comets are driving. Come on back for the fourth on the game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN and the Lansing Sports Network. Brought to you by Dowding Industries and by the Lansing Sports Commission. Brock Palmbos, Erik, Doc Love back here at Grand Ledge High School. Comets trailing East Lansing 28-14. Fourth quarter getting underway, and now maybe the biggest play of the game for Grand Ledge as they're trailing by 14 points, but they got a 4th and 1 at the East Lansing 19.
Yep. Going to go for it, obviously. They switch sides of the field, so now they get the wind of their back.
They get the wind at their back.
That'll help a little bit.
Yes.
If they're going to have to pass the ball. But I would imagine on 4th and 1, they'll probably want to run it here. Brock, I got a scoring update for you. Start of the fourth, DeWitt 22, Waverly 13.
Wow.
So Waverly's starting to come back. It was 22-0 at halftime. Waverly put up 13 in that third quarter.
They have played so many teams tough. Maple Valley trailing Martin 32-6 as they're getting ready to start their fourth quarter. Man.
End of third, Goodrich 14, Williamston 8.
4th and 1 from the 19-yard line of East Lansing. Grand Ledge going for it. Bonet in the gun. Baker next to him. Anthony Baker, the freshman. Man in motion. East Lansing crowding the line of scrimmage. Bonet, whistle, what do we got?
East Lansing's offsides. They tried to time it, but they jumped offsides. They were in the neutral zone before the snap.
As they were doing a serious run blitz.
Oh, man. They looked like they were going to bring 1, then they bring in 2, then they're going to bring 3.
I think they tried to bring 10 guys.
Yeah.
Dead ball, offsides,
Yep.
East Lansing. First down, Grand Ledge.
They were trying to time it perfectly to get off the, to try and stop that run, and it didn't happen.
I don't know if I've ever seen a run blitz where 10 guys.
Man, I mean,
because there was the far side corner. That was it.
They were bringing the house.
It was everybody except the far side corner.
Even the deep safety was coming in.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Even at the high school level.
Charlie Baker, the deep safety, was even coming up to the line.
So 1st and 10 at the 14. Bonet hands to Baker. He's going to get down to the 10. Still pushing forward. It's going to be, going to get to the 9-yard line, and it's going to be a gain of 5. 2nd down. and 5.
Again, the Trojans, the defenders committed too far upfield, and they got past Baker. Baker got the ball, and they were already behind him.
30 seconds into the fourth quarter. East Lansing up 28-14. If they win this game, they're the outright CAAC Blue champs. If Grand Ledge wins, they'll share the title with at least East Lansing and possibly DeWitt, depending on how DeWitt does against Waverly. And Waverly's getting back in that game.
Yeah, they're coming back.
Bonet in the gun, 2nd and 5. Rolls out to the right, tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's number 8. That's Noah Lopez. He was first in. And now, I thought we had a late flag. No, they're just flipping the football over a player. Thought there was a flag there, but no, it's going to be 2nd down and long.
Going to lose 2 yards.
3rd down and long, I'm sorry.
East Lansing was blitzing up the middle, and Bonet tried to go to the outside, but Lopez was there waiting for him.
Yep. 3rd and long.
More 2-down territory. It's been like that pretty much the entire game.
Yes. Where do they spot the ball here?
The 7. Excuse me, the 12.
12-yard line. Okay. 3rd and 8. Dropping to throw is Bonet. Rolls out. Throws out. Almost intercepted.
Ooh.
Who was that out there? Was that Wyndham?
Yes,
Yes,
it was.
B.J. Wyndham.
He was looking for number 3 out there, was Bonet, and Ben McDermott.
Yep.
And McDermott sat down and then took off towards the end zone, and Bonet threw it to where he had sat down.
Yep. So now it's 4th down, and they have to go for it. 4th and 8 from the 12. Grand Ledge had one other opportunity right at the end of the first half to score inside the 10-yard line and didn't do it. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Now man goes in motion. Bonet dropping to throw. He's going to throw it out to the left. It's caught inside. Oh, it got hit at the 5-yard line. I don't think he got it.
That was Wyndham. No, excuse me, that was number 4. That was Daryl Getter.
Noah McCartney caught it at the 5-yard line.
But he's going to come up a yard shy, I think, isn't he? Or is it going to be right at the line? This is close.
This is close.
It's very close.
They do mark it just inside the 5, and they say East Lansing holds.
He didn't get him. He needed to get, inside the 4?
Had to get at least to the 4. The nose of the ball, the tail of the ball is touching the 5-yard line.
Where they spotted the ball, it looks like it's a first down from our...
And McCartney, Noah McCartney, didn't make it there.
Yeah,
I thought they would at least measure the ball. I don't think he got it, personally.
No, but, I thought they would measure it at least. But Getter put the hit on him. The ball was kind of lofted up there, and it was in a great spot. And McCartney got it, and I thought, man, he's going to get it. And then Getter came out of nowhere and stuffed him just before he could pick up the first down. Huge stop for the Trojans D.
Yep. Second time they've stopped him inside the 10-yard line. Turnover on downs. 10:22 left. And if you're East Lansing, give the ball to Sams or Clarizio. Pitch, left. Clarizio. He's got space. 5, 10, 15. Steps out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Gain of 11. They are just sweet. They're just pitching the ball out to him, and he's just finding open areas left, right. It doesn't matter.
It's good blocking and a lot of Clarizio.
So 11 more yards. He's got to be close to 200 yards now.
It's pretty close. He was getting close to it earlier, and he didn't. They didn't have the ball as long.
1st and 10 from the 16. 10-14 to go. Their own 16. East Lansing up 28-14. Handoff again. I think that's Clarizio. Yes, it is. He's open. 20, 25, 30. Out over the 30 to the 33, 34-yard line. And he's just jogging out of bounds.
Yep.
Just not... he might be protecting whatever injury he's had and just getting out of bounds, trying to stay away from hits. That's another 18 yards.
Yeah. And we can hear the East Lansing coaches telling him, stay in bounds. The guys in the booth next to us, stay in bounds.
Yep.
Don't stop the clock.
10:07 to go. Clock is stopped. East Lansing up 28-14. What a ballgame for Jace Clarizio. Unofficially 209 yards.
On 16 carries.
Man. He's the only back in the backfield in a tight formation, and he's going to run right. Grand Ledge has great penetration, but he's going to run away from it, and he's going to get another first down, and he gets trucked out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Late hit, and add 15 more than likely.
Yeah.
And now another late flag.
Uh-oh, now we got a scrum.
Yes, we do. Officials trying to get in there before a fight breaks out. I hate to say that, and they did a good job of getting in there before a fight broke out.
Because there were a bunch of comments over there in the Trojan bench. We're definitely going to get a late hit out of bounds. And we're going to get something else after.
No question.
But I don't know who the after's on.
If it's on Grand Ledge, then it's 15 yards and then another 15 yards.
Well, that's 12 yards on the ground for Clarizio again after he looked like he was going to lose 5 yards.
Man.
And somehow found a way to the left.
Great penetration, but he's just so fast he runs away from it.
And here's the confab.
Trying to sort this out. 9:59 left in regulation.
We're going to have 2 dead ball penalties,
Yeah, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
As we cross the 9 o'clock hour, I want to let you know you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game 7:30 a.m. WVFN, East Lansing, a Town Square media station. East Lansing up 28-14. Brock Palmbos, Erik Doc Love here at Grand Ledge High School. Go ahead.
It's now 36-13 to Witt, who've scored 14 points in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So they're now pulling away a little bit.
Here comes the referee.
Okay.
Dead ball, personal foul, Grand Ledge. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, East Lansing.
So that cancels them out.
Cancels out. It's after the play, so first down.
12 yards and a first down.
So those do not go on the official totals, which will be, the coaches will be happy about that because both teams have committed a ton of penalties tonight.
Yeah.
9 for 97 yards unofficially for East Lansing, 7 for 70 for Grand Ledge.
Real quick trick play for Williamston. 5:15 left. They now lead 15-14.
Wow. Hey, they went for, that's right, they scored a touchdown and went for 2 in the first half. Difference in the game. Steve Kirsten likes to be aggressive and go for 2.
Third quarter, Mason 42, Fenton 7. So they're
going to finish 9-0.
Yep.
And they're going to host probably all the way to the regional final. Through the regional final, I should say. Of course, the pairings will be announced on Sunday and kick times will be announced on Monday morning. We'll tell you more about that in the post-game show here. We got to finish this game first.
Sam's Jr.
Fletcher, Sam's Jr., Duarte Sam's Jr. gets away from the pressure. He's into Grand Ledge territory, inside the 50, inside the 45, down at the 40-yard line. Gain of 14.
These guys are special, Brock. Both of these guys.
And they're back next year.
They're juniors.
They're just juniors. As is the quarterback, Ben Fletcher.
Yeah.
Hasn't had to throw the ball very much tonight because Clarizio and to a lesser extent Sam's have been extremely effective.
They're going to have 300 yards rushing here in a minute.
Fletcher under center. Handoff. Just a straight handoff to Sam's, and he stopped at the 39-yard line. Gain of 1. 9:32 and counting. It's going to be 2nd and 9. And guess what? In comes Jace Clarizio.
Yeah, Cooper Parks with the stop that time. One of the few times that Grand Ledge has been able to slow down East Lansing in the run game.
They have had better success defending Sam's than they have Clarizio.
But not as much, because Sam's has runs of 10, 10, and 14.
Right. Clarizio back in the game. Tight formation, 2 wide receivers. Wing back on the right. Unbalanced line again, Doc. Handoff, Clarizio.
Oh, man.
40, 35, 30, 25. Just went right up the middle, and he's inside the 25 to the 23.
He does great work between the tackles, too. It's not just to the outside.
And good holes by the offensive line, too. And good vision, seeing the hole, and boom, went straight ahead, north-south, right through it. They mark him down at the 23-yard line.
18 yards again.
Man.
These aren't giant holes he's running through for the most part either. Some of these are just tiny little things, but he's got such a fast burst.
Yep. Fletcher under center again. Handoff. Clarizio. He's going to get stopped at the 21-yard line. Good job by Grand Ledge that time. Gain of only 2. 2nd and 8. 8:18 to go in regulation time.
This is 19th carry of the game, by the way. He's going to come out.
Clarizio's going to go out. He took a hit there. They're going to get him out of the game. over 200 yards tonight for Clarizio. Sams is back in the game. How many yards does Duarte Sams have?
I'm going to have to do some addition
Okay.
here. Maybe I can do it between plays.
He's got to be close to 100 yards.
Not quite.
750 and counting. Now East Lansing is a team that's taking their time. Tight formation here. Almost a wing T formation with Sams behind him.
Oh, somebody's supposed to come in motion, and they're confused. And delay a game? Yeah.
Delay a game. 10 penalties for East Lansing, 102 yards unofficially.
Ben Fletcher kicked his foot back, the quarterback does, hoping for somebody to come in motion. The receiver said, no, I don't go in motion. He said, yeah, you do, and then that's delay a game.
7:39 to go. It's going to be 2nd and 13. Some substitutions here. Number 14, Owen Fortman, who caught a touchdown pass in the first drive of the game. And the kicker, Isaiah Armstrong, in the game. And now we're going to get a whistle, and East Lansing's going to call a timeout. First timeout of the second half. We'll take one ourselves and come back. East Lansing leading Grand Ledge 28-14 with 7:39 left in regulation. 30-second break, and we're back on the game, 7:30 WVFN and the Lansing Sports Network.
The game, 7:30 a.m.
Brock Palmbos, Erik, Doc Love here. Coming out of the East Lansing timeout, you got a score from Leslie out of the Cascades Conference playing crossover games. They're not playing in the Cascades Championship this year, but a win possibly puts them in the playoffs.
Third quarter, Leslie 40, Homer 8.
Leslie has struggled in recent years.
Yep.
That'd be a heck of an accomplishment for them for getting in the playoffs. Why do I mention that? Because currently they're ranked 34th in Division 7. Got to finish in the top 32 to be eligible for the playoffs. 7:39 left here at Grand Ledge High School. East Lansing leading GL 28-14, and they're driving for another score. Duarte Sams, counterplay, goes to the left side, 25, 20, still going inside the 15, out of bounds. He's close to a first down, depends on the mark.
He got right to it.
Bonet forced him out, and I think he's short by 1 yard.
Okay.
3rd and 1. Clock stopped with 7:11 left. They may have to make a clock adjustment here because the clock was running.
That's they're going to talk about it right now.
Yep, and the Grand Ledge coaching staff telling the scorers they're going to have to make an adjustment because the clock was running when it should have been stopped because he went out of bounds. They haven't done anything yet. Yep, they put 8 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
There we go. Yep. Good job by the official seeing it. And in high school, yes, the coaching staff does relay that to the press box. 3rd down and 1 from the Grand Ledge 14. Duarte Sams. He's got the first down. Gets to the 12, and that's about it.
There's a flag, though. It's thrown right in the middle of that pile.
There it is. Yep, I see it now.
I feel like I've seen more flags than raindrops today.
Personal foul. Chop block. East Lansing.
Well, that will take away the first down.
11 penalties for East Lansing. 11 penalties, 117 yards.
Man.
Well, that's the reason why East Lansing's only up 2 touchdowns when they could be up at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to make it 3rd and a whole bunch.
When you reach triple digits in penalty yardage, that is not good.
3rd. They say 14. Oh, it must have been a spot foul.
It was a spot,
Okay.
yeah.
It's at the 27-yard line of Grand Ledge. From here, it's a 44-yard field goal, but the wind
No.
pretty much right in their face.
Yeah.
6:55 and counting. Clock is running. Ben Fletcher under center. Man in motion. Handoff, Sams, counterplay. Goes to the right. Outside, 30, 25. Stops, starts, stutters. 22, 21. Push down at the 20. Clock running. He stayed in bounds.
Yep. Smart play.
So it's going to be 4th down. Less than 10, about, 4th and 6?
You might as well just run the ball again. I mean, if you don't get it, big deal.
Jace Clarizio coming back into the game. Yeah, they're going to go for it. I can't blame them here.
No.
Not with the wind the way it is.
No reason to go for it. You're up 2 scores right now. If you're up 1 score, maybe you try the field goal. Maybe. But you're up 2 scores right now. And there's only almost 6 minutes left in the game now.
East Lansing might take a timeout here.
You just run.
6:03, 6:02.
They're going to let the play clock roll down and then call timeout. See Coach Farraco standing next to that fish.
Yep. They're going to call their second timeout. They have 1 remaining. It's going to be 4th down. 5:53 left in regulation time. East Lansing up 28-14 on Grand Ledge. Let's take 30 and come back on the game, 730 AM WVFN and the Lansing Sports Network.
Lansing Sports Station. The game, 730 AM.
Brock Palmbos, Erik Doc Love back here after the East Lansing timeout. East Lansing up 28-14. 4th and 7 from the Grand Ledge 20. They're up by 2 scores, and at least they're going to line up to go for it. It would be a 37 or 38-yard field goal from the right hash here, but the wind is northwest to southeast, really in their face, so they're going to line up to go for it. Jace, go ahead.
You don't need to kick a field goal here up by 2 scores.
It would put you up 17.
But
don't
need to take that chance. What if it gets blocked and return for a touchdown? I mean,
we've seen that happen before. Ben Fletcher, though, in the shotgun. He's going to drop to throw. Looks out. Clarizio pass behind him. Incomplete. And Grand Ledge holds. Hey, good play design, but bad execution. And the wind played havoc with that pass, too.
It did. It kind of pushed it away from Clarizio. It was almost
like the Coriolis effect. He tried to throw it straight to him, but as Clarizio went into the Grand Ledge defense out in the left flank, the pass kept going behind him.
Yeah. The wind definitely affected that one. I'm not opposed to the pass on there because even if you don't get it, the clock's going to stop for the change of possession anyway.
And if you don't know what the Coriolis effect is, folks, there's this thing called the internet.
Google it.
That's called 8th grade earth science, folks. Well, Grand Ledge has the ball at their own 20-yard line. Dropping to throw is Bonet. Throws it out to the left. It's caught by number 16. That's Schaefer again. Is that who? Logan Schaefer?
You got 7.
Yep, Logan Schaefer. And he gets out of bounds. Gain of 7. Stops the clock, 5:45 to go.
3rd catch of the game for Schaefer. Now they got to get out of their element a little bit more and pass the ball.
Have to throw. Right. They're not 1 touchdown down. They're 2 touchdowns down. Taking their time.
Do have 3 timeouts.
They do have all 3 timeouts. You can throw it over the middle, but they don't really want to because you're down by 2 scores. Bonet throws it out to the right side. It's caught there, I believe, by Baker.
Yep.
Not much of a gain. It's going to be 3rd down.
No, he didn't get anything out of it.
Maybe 1. It's going to be 3rd down and short. They do give him 1 to the 28.
Swing pass out there, but nobody was blocking for Baker. It was all on him to do it, and the Trojans weren't going to allow that.
Bonet.
Nope. False start.
You called it. Yep. 8th penalty on Grand Ledge for 75 yards.
Trying to go quick, and somebody went too quick.
Yep. Well, that changes this.
Yeah.
3rd down and 7.
Went from a quick pass to maybe something a little bit further.
5:21 left in regulation. East Lansing up 28-14. Clock running. 5:14. 5:13 and counting. Bonet in the gun. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Dropping to throw is Bonet. Getting away from pressure. He's going to try to run for it. 20, 25, 30. Still going. 34-yard line. He's got the 1st down.
Yep.
Clock will stop momentarily with 4:58 to go. He does well to get 11 yards there.
Mm-hmm. Nothing was happening downfield. He had the pressure coming towards him. Couldn't stand there. Had to take off with it.
Bonet in the gun again. Haven't started the clock. Now it has. Bonet in the gun. Dropping to throw. And he's going to have to he's getting sacked. He's got to eat the ball.
Nope, nothing he can
3
do.
or 4 guys for East Lansing just snowed him under. Number 55, Jay Carnegie, and others. 21, Julian Terranova.
There was just nothing happening for him. He
maybe should have thrown the ball away.
He couldn't. There was nothing he could even do. There was a guy right in his face. He couldn't even throw the ball.
2nd and long, 2nd and 18. Low snap from center. Bonet throws over the middle. Incomplete. Intended receiver. McDermott.
Looking for the deep
Ben
slant.
McDermott, yep.
The pass was in front of McDermott. He had not gotten to the spot where Bonet was throwing it to.
3rd and 18. And yes, 2 downs to make 18 yards here. And you can't call timeout because you got to save your timeouts for defense. Going to reset the play clock. Bonet in the gun. Dropping to throw. Throws over the middle.
Ooh.
Caught. No, dropped.
McCartney had it and then lost it.
Julius Goodwin, number 5, was behind the play. And Grand Ledge making substitutions. Are they going to punt?
Yeah.
They are going to punt. It's 4th and 18 at their own 26.
Yep. Nick Terranova, the punter, is going out there right now.
Well, what they're thinking is punt it, try to get a 3 and out, call your timeouts.
Yep.
Get the ball back. Snap back. Colin Flynn, the punter, gets an East Lansing bounce, and it's going to bounce dead at the East Lansing 41. 4:09 left in regulation. East Lansing up 28-14. And now you literally and figuratively go into your 4-minute offense, you would think. 4:09 left. East Lansing up 28-14. And if you're EL, run the ball. Don't turn it over. 3 first downs. Probably wins the game.
Oof, got a heartbreaker here, Brock. 6 seconds left. Goodrich scores on Williamson. It's 20-15. 6 seconds remaining.
Man, that would be a brutal loss.
Mason 49, Fenton 20. Hazlitt beat Jackson 18-8.
That's a good win for Hazlitt. They'll be in the playoffs in Division 4 this year. They're in Division 4 this year. All right, here we go. East Lansing, handoff. That's Clarizio, 40, 45, first down into Grand Ledge territory, inside the Grand Ledge 45, 44. 15 yards.
Yep.
He's got to be close to 250 now.
It's 20 carries. He's definitely over 250.
Corunna finishes their season undefeated. They beat Armada tonight 31-7. First and 10.
256.
There you go.
On 20 carries.
3:30 left. Handoff. Clarizio up the middle. He's got a first down and he may go. 20, 15, down at the 10. Fumble.
The
officials say he was down.
Down at the 10.
We got players down here. East Lansing in the end zone. Clarizio jogging over to the sideline.
Down to the 8?
Nope, 10.
10, excuse me. That's 290.
Hang on. No, I think you're right. I think it is the 8-yard line.
So 292.
So that was
36 yards.
Man. 282.
292.
First and goal from the 8. Sams goes out.
It's number 2, Keenan Shropshire.
Keenan Shropshire, yeah. He's in the game. Tight formation. Fletcher, he's going to take it himself. Inside the 5. Diving for the pylon. Touchdown, Ben Fletcher.
2 flags on the play, Brock.
Okay.
This is coming back.
Okay.
Design QB run to the outside for Fletcher, but this one's coming back. Another chop block.
No, it's on Grand Ledge.
A defensive chop block? So it counts. 8 yards? Is that right?
We're waiting for the official words here. Hang on.
Yeah, we got to sort this out again.
There's 2:45 left.
At the moment, it's an 8-yard touchdown run by Fletcher. It looks like it's going to stand.
Yeah, it's going to stand. Ben Fletcher, an 8-yard touchdown run on a quarterback draw. And it's 34-14. And 34, Isaiah Armstrong's going to kick the extra point.
That's going to pretty much seal it for East Lansing in the blue title.
You would think. Snap good. Placement down. Kick on the way. Line drive through. Yes, good. 2:45 left in regulation. And East Lansing is up 35-14. Unofficially, Jace Clarizio, 292.
On 21 carries.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw him last year, Doc, and because he played because of injuries to their senior running backs. Remember Kanye Jackson? He got hurt. And Clarizio had to play, and, man, he was awesome last year.
Yep. Just like Duarte Sams Jr. has been awesome filling in for Clarizio.
Yeah. So they're over 350 yards rushing tonight. Somewhere between 350 and 400.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
35-14 East Lansing. And barring something historic, they're going to win the CAAC Blue Championship. And so they're going to put the penalty on the kickoff. Makes that 9 penalties for 90 yards for GL.
Final PW 41, Lansing Catholic 6.
Great win for PW. They're going to host in Division 7.
20 consecutive playoff appearances.
8-1. Lansing Catholic going to finish 3-6 as the kickoff is line drived into the end zone.
DeWitt beats Lansing Waverly 43-13. It was 22-13, and then all of a sudden DeWitt poured it on.
So Waverly's going to finish 2-7. DeWitt finishes the regular season 6-2.
Yep.
And they will certainly host a playoff game, if not more than one.
Final, Girdrich scored again. It's 26-15. They beat Williamston.
You know what? They might have scored like on a Stanford Cal play and took it into the end zone.
8 minutes left. It's Leslie 60, Homer 8. So Leslie got a chance.
They got a chance to get in at 4-5. Lansing Catholic, 3-6, and could get into the playoffs.
Possibly.
That'd be something. It happened last year. Grand Ledge just going to hand the ball up the middle here. And it looks like number 2.
25. Cooper Parks.
Yep, and it looked like number 2 is the quarterback.
Is that Wajenki?
That's Wajenki, who'd been playing a lot in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Probably a good move here by Coach Joe Bry. Wajenki thrown out to the left. It's caught. Logan Schaefer out of bounds. 37-yard line. Gain of 7 out to the 37. 2:29 left.
Wajenki, the junior, listed as quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive back.
And he was their 4th-string quarterback because of injuries to the first 3 guys. Preston Bonet came back tonight, and he was effective to a certain degree. This play's not effective, however. A handoff right up the middle. Absolutely nothing there.
Cooper Parks again.
Cooper Parks, number 25. And it's going to be 3rd down. 2:14 and counting. East Lansing's going to finish the season 7-2, outright CAAC Blue champs. Certainly the best 2-loss team in this area, Doc, and maybe one of the best in the state.
1-7 straight to end the season.
Thrown out to the right. Zachariah Jones, out of bounds. 1st down, 43-yard line. Gain of 6 rather. Minute 55 left in regulation.
Yeah, a team that, besides Mason, the hottest team in the area, and maybe Portland too. I mean,
Portland. Oh, my goodness. Punted once in 8 games.
They're not going to let us back there because they had a punt. They were mad at us. That was a couple weeks ago.
Low snap from center, handoff up the middle, 45, 50, 45, down at the 43-yard line. Is that Parks again?
Yep.
They mark him down at the East Lansing 44.
It's 12.
Minute 50 to go. Clock is stopped. Romeo Washington on the tackle. Grand Legend, hurry up. Clock running now. Dropping to throw. Wajenki rolling out to the right, looking. He's going to throw it. It's tipped. Caught. It is caught. Grand Ledge inside the 25, inside the 20. It was tipped twice. Once by Grand Ledge and once by East Lansing and caught.
McCartney had it, got tipped, and McDermott actually gets it.
McDermott with the catch. Ben McDermott inside the 20.
18.
18-yard line. Clock running, minute 35 and counting. Wajenki dropping to throw. Throws it out to the right. Ball knocked down.
Yeah. Big old Noah Lopez come flying in.
Number 8. Minute 28 to go. Second down and 10 from the 18.
Came flying in and jumped up and knocked the ball down.
Yep.
Yeah, that last play was crazy. It looked like it was going to get intercepted, and then I thought that the McCartney was going to catch it, and then it got popped up in the air. And generally, when you get a tip ball like that, a defender is going to pick it off.
Usually.
But McDermott was there. Johnny on the spot.
Wajenki in the gun, dropping to throw. Rolls out to the right, and he just throws it away, but we got a flag.
2 flags.
2 flags.
One's holding, and one is the horse collar.
And we may play this over again.
Yeah, they're going to balance these out. We're going to play second down again. Going to be holding on Grand Ledge, then it's going to be a horse collar. Wajenki got tossed from the back of his shoulder pads.
Holding, Grand Ledge, personal foul.
Horse collar.
Horse collar. They offset. We play it over. Grand Ledge not quitting here. You knew they weren't going to quit.
We've seen teams finish ball games no matter what this year.
Handoff to the 15-yard line. Who is that, 23?
I think it's Parks again.
Parks again? Okay.
Yeah, Cooper Parks is coming and being the third back.
Down to the 15-yard line. It'll be third down in about 7. Wajenki in the gun. We're down to a minute to go. Wajenki drops to throw. Fakes, rolling to the right. Gets out further to the right. He's going to run for it and gets out of bounds about the 14-yard line.
The coverage downfield was excellent.
48.6 seconds left. And it's fourth down. Keenan Shropshire on the pushed him out of bounds. And it's fourth down.
Yeah, picked up 2 on that scramble. Timeout Grand Ledge.
And Grand Ledge is going to take a timeout. They have 2 remaining. 48.6 seconds left.
Just a reminder that the MHSAA will announce the Division I football playoff field this Sunday night at
Selection Sunday happening.
You can hear that through our microphones there, yes. So, Eric, after the pairings are announced on Sunday night at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7 o'clock, we will converse. We're not going to have the kick times until Monday morning, but we can assume, we can guess as to what potential games, usually in week number 1 and maybe even week number 2, you try to get 2 local teams
and you get
to play each other.
And it's generally a Friday at 7 o'clock.
Generally speaking, yes.
You don't start to get those Saturday games until you get to regionals and quarters and things like that.
All right, here we go. Fourth down for Grand Ledger. Last chance. Wajenki dropping to throw, rolling to the right. Throws. Caught. First down.
Zachariah Jones.
Zachariah Jones returning opening kickoff 87 yards for a touchdown inside the 5.
It's down to the 3.
3-yard line, 41.9 seconds left. It's first and goal. Wajenki, hands off.
Parks.
Touchdown.
3 yards out.
Cooper Parks.
Yep.
3 yards out.
3-yard TD, and it's 35-20. 38 seconds left. And we got an injured player out there.
That's a Comet. I can't see the number. He's laying on his back.
35-20, 38 seconds to go. We can assume that we will have a game next Friday night. 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. We don't know who. We don't know where. But we can probably surmise it'll be next Friday night at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
And that is
Ryan Beatty.
Number 50, one of their better players. Yeah, he's a second player that's come off not putting any pressure on his right leg.
That's one of their senior offensive linemen, a guy who's anchored this squad for a couple of years.
And on defense as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Colin Flynn's going to kick the extra point. Grand Ledge doesn't have the right guys on the field, and they're going to have to call timeout. They only got 10 guys.
Oh, here we go. They just started the play clock, so they're okay.
Snap is good. Placement down. Kick. Good.
That's Colin Flynn, by the way.
Yep,
the sophomore.
Colin Flynn. Yep. He's hit all of them tonight. And it's 35-21 East Lansing with 38 seconds left. And Grand Ledge's last gasp. The onside kick is coming. They tried an onside kick on the first drive of the game after they scored on the opening kickoff. So you know they'll try it again.
They almost got it, too.
They almost did get it. And if Grand Ledge gets it here, there's still a pulse. Not much of one,
no,
but a pulse. East Lansing recovers this, then the game is over. 38 seconds left.
Well, scoring slowed down in the second half. We had a track meet in the first half.
Man. We'll have post-game stats and analysis. We'll have scores from around the mid-Michigan area. And yes, Grand Ledge is going to line up. Landon Pilcher. 10 guys are up by the line of scrimmage for East Lansing. Here's the kick. High up in the air. Caught by number 21. That's Julian Terranova. He tried to return it instead of just falling on it. And he downs it. He's now taken down at the Grand Ledge 48, and that's going to do it.
Everybody wants their spot, Brock.
So East Lansing all they need to do, one knee. I don't think Grand Ledge is going to call their timeouts here.
No. I would hope not.
If they were ones, well, even with under 40 seconds, no, you just take a knee. And Coach Bill Farraco looks like they might be putting all the seniors in the game. Yeah, they're excited. Duarte Sam's jumping up and down. He's happy because they're going to win the CAAC Blue outright championship officially after this last knee is taken. Ben Fletcher, knee. Grand Ledge is not going to take a timeout, and that's going to be it. Down to 25 seconds, and East Lansing jumping up and down. They should be happy. They earned it. They played. There are 7 teams in the CAAC Blue. East Lansing beat the other 6 teams. You know what that makes you? An outright conference champion. Congratulations to the Bill Farraco and the Trojans of East Lansing. They're the CAAC Blue champions for 2023. And it'll be official in 2-1. And there it is. East Lansing wins it tonight over Grand Ledge, 35-21. We'll have post-game stats and analysis. We'll go through the scoring summary, post-game stats and analysis, and then get to scores from around the mid-Michigan area. But first, it's time for one more time. This Week in High School Sports with John Ross.
The football regular season is winding down with playoffs on the horizon and an all-time first in MHSAA football history. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid. Welcome to Week 9 of the football season, the final week of the regular season. All across Michigan, schools are looking to get into the playoffs or earn home field advantage for at least one game. Let's run through how it all works. There are 8 divisions of 11-player football. The top 32 in each division will qualify for the playoffs, and that's based on a team's playoff points. From there, the 32 teams are grouped into 8 4-team districts. The team with the higher playoff points will host. District play starts October 27th with district finals the following week. After districts, we're down to 8 teams in each division, and they'll play regionals on either November 10th or 11th. Those winners advance to the semifinals on November 18th, and then it's on to Ford Field for the MHSAA Finals November 25th and 26th. Remember that those games are on Saturday and Sunday this year. For 8-player football, there are 2 divisions. 16 teams in each will qualify, and the MHSAA Finals are November 18th at the Superior Dome in Marquette. How do you know who makes the playoffs? Tune into the Selection Sunday show this Sunday at 6 p.m., airing live on Valley Sports Detroit Extra. And then after the show, brackets will be posted at MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, where we highlight a trio of standout performances from the last week. First, to Bullitt Creek senior Logan Corson. He scored 4 times in a soccer district win over Standish Sterling. The 4 give him 68 career goals, making him the school's all-time leading goal scorer. He's also their all-time leader in assists. South Lyon East Caitlin Berry, her 15 kills in a match against South Lyon helped the Cougars to a 4-set win and a Lakes Valley Conference outright title. And at Kingsford, Elizen Roos. He ran for 330 yards and 6 touchdowns in a 41-32 win over Menominee. The win gives Kingsford at least a share of the West Pac Conference title.
For high school seniors, the matchup of the year isn't on the field. It's actually online. That's right. When you fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you could also be eligible for thousands of dollars in additional money from the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Yep, nearly 80% of students who fill out the FAFSA may be eligible. Now that's a matchup we can all root for. Get started today at michigan.gov/achievement. The Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
Today's You Make the Call takes us to the tennis court. We're in the middle of a volley when I hit a shot with a ton of spin on it. It goes over the net, bounces, and then spins back over the net towards me without being hit by my opponent. What's the call? My opponent never hit the ball, so I win the point. The same rule applies if it's wind, not spin, blowing the ball back over the net. My opponent could have returned my shot even if they had to reach over the net to do so, as long as they don't touch the net while returning. If my opponent hits the net in the process of returning my shot, it is also my point.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. Bear Lake's 8-player football team won for the first time this year on October 7th, a 26-0 victory over Baldwin. In doing so, their coach, Sam Mullett, became the first woman in MHSAA history to win a football game as head coach. Mullett took over Bear Lake this season, and she's a Lakers grad. She talked to state champs after the game.
The biggest thing I would say is be yourself. The boys can really see through when you're trying to be something that you're not. And they just really want authenticity, and they want someone that can help them win. And from the NFL to high school, I've never found anybody that questioned, what I look like, or that I'm a female. They just want to know, what are you going to do to help me win? Because ultimately that's the goal at every level, is how can we be successful?
Bear Lake closes out the season at Engadine. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross, and we'll see you next week.
Else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
VFN.
Brock Palmbos, Erik Doc Love back here at Grand Ledge High School. East Lansing wins it tonight over Grand Ledge, 35-21 to clinch the outright CAAC Blue Championship. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part tonight and all season long by Dowding Industries and by the Lansing Sports Commission. No matter the sport, the Lansing Sports Commission can make your next event your best event. Plan on something greater. Find out more at lansingsports.org. And by Jeff Metz and Dowding Industry. Congratulating all the athletes playing around the state, not only tonight, but all season long. Dowding Industries also understands you have learned leadership, hard work, and a positive attitude. These traits do translate into real life, and they're interested in your skills. To find a strong future and a career for life, check them out at dowdingindustries.com. Wild first half. Lots of points scored. It was actually 7-7. 28 seconds into the game. I'm not kidding, folks, because Grand Ledge took the opening kickoff. It was Noah McCartney took the opening kickoff, handed off on a reverse to Zachariah Jones, and we were all confused. And next thing you know, he's running down the near sideline going for a touchdown. Officially 87 yards on the kickoff return. Extra point by Colin Flynn Good, and 13 seconds into the game, it was 7-0 Grand Ledge. You're right. I said 28 seconds in, and it was 7-7. That's because on the very first play from scrimmage, after Grand Ledge tried an onside kick that they almost recovered, but East Lansing got it, Ben Fletcher threw a screen pass to Owen Fortman, and Fortman was able to break a couple of tackles. Looked like he was going to be down after about a gain of 3, but he ended up taking it 52 yards for a score, and the extra point was good by Isaiah Armstrong, and it was 7-7 with 11:32 to go in the first quarter. Later on in the first quarter, Jace Clarizio scored the first of his one of his many big plays tonight, a 9-yard touchdown run, extra point by Armstrong Good, and it was 14-7 East Lansing, and that was a score at the end of the first quarter. But on the first play of the second quarter, GL quarterback Preston Bonet took it in from 37 yards out, extra point Good, 14-14 at that point. All East Lansing did on the next possession, hand the ball to Jace Clarizio. I think they tossed the ball to him on this play. A 55-yard touchdown run by Clarizio. Extra point Good. 21-14 East Lansing. Grand Ledge had 2 chances to score in the first half right before halftime. They had a 37-yard field goal blocked, and Anthony Baker also fumbled inside the 10-yard line, and they did not score right before the half there. So it was 21-14 at the half. Defense tightened up a little bit in the second half after an exchange of punts. East Lansing scored. Jace Clarizio finished off a drive with a 5-yard touchdown run, extra point by Armstrong Good. And at the 7:40 mark of the third quarter, it was 28-14 East Lansing. Stayed that way until the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth quarter, after Grand Ledge got stopped inside the 20-yard line, East Lansing went on a long drive, and Ben Fletcher, the quarterback, finished it off on an 8-yard touchdown run. The extra point was good. 2:45 left in the fourth quarter. 35-14 East Lansing. Game was over at that point. Grand Ledge put all the backups in the game, and backup running back Cooper Parks finished off a drive with a 3-yard touchdown run. The extra point by Flynn was good. 38 seconds to go in regulation. 35-21. Grand Ledge tried the onside kick. They didn't get it, and so East Lansing was able to run the clock out. 35-21 the final. East Lansing finishes the season at 7-2, the outright CAAC Blue champs. Grand Ledge is going to finish off at 6-3, very likely in the playoffs in Division I, but they're going on the road. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They're going to be going on the road, and they're going to be playing somebody really, really good. Going to be tough for the Comets now.
Yeah, if they'd have won tonight, it would have had a chance to have a home game. More than likely would have been able to get a home game in Division I, but the loss tonight and a tough one here on senior night for Grand Ledge. And East Lansing, the run game, Brock, that 1-2 punch of Clarizio and Sams Jr. is just, when they're healthy and they're back there,
lethal
and interchangeable. And it's kind of not really a lightning and thunder type of situation. It's like lightning and double lightning almost, because they're both really fast.
Clarizio being the double lightning.
Yes.
Man, he is fast. He is faster than he was. Well, I mean, it would make sense. He's a year older. Yeah. Just a junior. Man, awesome. We'll get to his stats in just a second. Got to finish this up, though. Grand Ledge had 2 turnovers. East Lansing scored on one of them, and East Lansing had a turnover, which Grand Ledge did not capitalize on. It turned out that was a big deal as well. Penalties were a major problem for both teams. Both these coaches are not going to like the penalties. Grand Ledge, 9 penalties for 90 yards. East Lansing, 11 penalties for 117 yards. And there was a number of offsetting penalties as well, and some didn't count. So there was actually more than that. It's just a couple were declined, and others were offset. It was like double personal fouls, so they offset. So it really was more than that. It was a chippy game tonight. There was some talking on the field, and you expect that to a certain degree. And I think the officials did a pretty good job, because there was once in the second half where there could have been a fight that could have broken out on the far side, on the visitors' sideline. But the officials got in there and did a very good job of stopping any potential altercation. You don't want to get into any fights and get yourself ejected and get yourself suspended for playoff games.
No.
Don't want to do that. So there you go. Again, Grand Ledge, 9 penalties, 90 yards. East Lansing, 11 penalties, 117. That's not good enough either way.
Nope, it's not. And Grand Ledge's run defense not good enough in this ballgame either tonight. 372 rushing yards for East Lansing on the ground. Clarizio unofficially 21 carries, 292, and 3 touchdowns. Duarte Sams Jr. only 76 yards on 14 carries. Ben Fletcher had that 8-yard rush on touchdown too. 435 total for East Lansing, who only threw the ball 4 times. 2 for 4 for 63 yards. 1 was a touchdown, obviously.
Yeah, on their first play from scrimmage, a 52-yard touchdown.
For Grand Ledge in this one, 169 rushing yards, 271 total in this one. Preston Bonet back at quarterback tonight for Coach Joe Bryan in the Comets. 8 for 15 for 51 yards. Did run the ball 18 times for 83 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Baker, 14 carries for 54 yards. Logan Schaefer, 4 catches for 36. So really the penalties and the inability to stop the run game for East Lansing is what caused the Comets to lose this one tonight. And the
turnover right before half.
The turnover
they were going
in
for a tying score.
Yep.
And so
can't turn the ball over, and if you can't stop the run, you can have a tough time winning a ball game.
You are. And hey, East Lansing, they played well enough tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't perfect. We mentioned they had the 1 turnover, which Coach Bill Farraco got himself a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty because he thought that Ben Fletcher was on the ground before he fumbled. The officials didn't see it that way, but credit the East Lansing defense.
Yes.
They came back and stopped them and forced a turnover themselves. Anthony Baker fumbled inside the 10-yard line. And Grand Ledge had their chances to score.
Plenty.
3 or 4 chances to score, at least inside the 20-yard line.
Yes.
And didn't.
Turned away.
They got turned away, had a turnover, got stopped on 4th down, and then the blocked field goal.
Yep. Had their chances and just couldn't convert. So tip your cap to the Trojans on that one. Playing great defense and running the ball.
There you go. All right, we'll take our last time out and come back. We'll get to scores from around the mid-Michigan area. That's coming up after this on the game, 7:30 WVFN, the Lansing Sports Network. Brought to you by Dowding Industries and by the Lansing Sports Commission. Brock Palmbos, Erik, Doc Love, back with you one final time from Community Field in Grand Ledge at the Grand Ledge High School. It is East Lansing over Grand Ledge, 35-21. They're the outright CAAC Blue champions, and congratulations to them. They deserved it tonight. Wasn't a perfect game for them. Too many penalties. They did have 1 turnover, but they got it done tonight behind Jace Clarizio. He was absolutely outstanding tonight. Let's get to the scores from around the mid-Michigan area. Let's see. Mason's going to finish the season undefeated. They crushed Fenton on the road tonight, 49-20. They finished 9-0. They're going to be a serious threat to win it all in Division III. Fowler, they're a threat in Division VIII. They destroyed McBain tonight, 40-0.
Wow.
Fowler finishes the season at 8-1, and they're a serious threat to win it all in Division VIII. Great win for Fowlerville. Tough loss for Charlotte. Fowlerville beats Charlotte tonight 29-20. So Charlotte, 25th in Division IV, might make it.
They could hang on.
Might not make it. Fowlerville, 39th in Division III. Is that enough to get them into the playoffs? Well, we'll have to wait and see on Sunday night.
Final PW defeats Lansing Catholic 41-6. They finished 8-1.
Man.
Catholic 3-6.
Great, and there's a chance Catholic could get in at 3-6.
Yep.
Hazlitt beat Jackson tonight, 18-8.
Yep.
Hazlitt is going to finish their season at 6-3. They will be in the playoffs in Division IV.
Goodrich beats Williamson 26-15.
Maybe cost Williamston a home playoff game in Division 5. They're going to be in the playoffs, but maybe going on the road now.
Yep.
Ionia shut out Lakewood tonight. Their traditional end-of-season game, 20-0. Ionia, 31st in Division 4. That's probably good enough to get them in at 4-5 on the season, playing the tough schedule that they play in the CAAC White.
That's a tough one. Yeah, DeWitt, they finished their season 6-2. They beat Lansing Waverly 43-13. So DeWitt, maybe they get a home game. They couldn't get that 9th game.
Maybe.
They only had 8 in the regular season, but maybe that they rebounded. They were struggling early in midseason.
They're 10th in Division 3. If they get sent north, they're probably going to have at least one home game there. Lansing Sexton rebounded from the loss to Portland last week. They shut out Eastern tonight 40-0. Sexton wins the Oak Chest. They retain the Oak Chest for another year, their trophy game. They finish the season 8-1. They're 10th in Division 4 heading in. They're they're going to host a playoff game coming up in Division 4 this season.
This was 36 minutes ago, but you can imagine it's over. It was 8 minutes left in the game. Leslie 60, Homer 8. So Leslie hanging on, maybe make it.
Leslie, 34th in Division 7, finished the season at 4-5. Is that going to be good enough to get them in? We'll have to wait and see on that. Langsburg was trailing Essexville Garber 22-7 in the second half at the last check that we had.
Martin beat Maple Valley in 8-man 40-22.
So Maple Valley will end their season, a successful one. 7-2 on the season, but they're not going to the playoffs and just got too many kids in their school to play 8-player football. Or to be eligible in 8-player football.
I can do one more refresh, but that's all I got.
That's all you got
teams, there? Yeah. Who are we looking for? Any significant? Bath Perry?
Trying to find Bath and Perry. A huge game for both of those teams.
Nope, nothing.
Let's check Bath High School Twitter. I'm sure you probably just did this. But
yeah, I don't see anything here.
Bath High School Athletics. Nope, got nothing.
So I'm checking the Ramblers, and nothing from Perry.
Nothing from Perry.
That was one of the other significant games in the area.
Absolutely. Potentially a playoff berth for both of those teams. They could both get in, but maybe not. Maybe not. One gets in, one gets out. The winner of that game certainly is in. The loser might get in still. But, man, that's about it right there. Yes, as we cross the 10 o'clock hour, we want to let you know you're listening to your trusted source for high school sports coverage. The game, 7:30 a.m. WVFN, a Town Square media station. Let's do the Twitterverse one final time before we get final comments here and tell you what's coming up here next week for high school football, as it will be playoff time this time next week.
Get to the pre-district round to start on Friday. Let's see here if I can get some more.
Olivet was trailing Richland Gull Lake 35-7 in the fourth quarter. Let's see.
I was looking for a Stockbridge score. Couldn't get that one.
Eric Harrelson, Bath Athletic Director. Thank you for listening, Mr. Harrelson. Bath defeated Perry tonight 28-6.
Okay.
So that's going to put, Bath is certainly in Division 7. Perry, could they get in? Could Perry get in at 5-4? Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see about that. Trying to find a Saranac score. They were in action tonight. They were playing Wyoming Kelloggsville at home. Langsburg was playing Essexville Garber. I believe they were trailing in that game.
Let's see. Here we go. Final. Saranac 53, Kelloggsville 8.
And that's going to put them in the playoffs. Maybe. They were 34th in Division 8. But that certainly helps.
Yep.
Doesn't hurt.
Nope. Big win, too.
So there you have it there. Anybody else that we're looking for?
I can look at Ovid Elsie real quick just to see.
Everett and Okemos. St. John's was leading Alpena 21-13 in the second half.
Ovid Elsie 28, Standish Sterling 27. So Ovid Elsie, they were hanging on at 20th, so they'll be in.
Ovid Elsie definitely be in. Yeah, Travis Long, there you go. See if we can get an Everett Okemos score. Because Everett needs to win that game to get themselves in.
Nope.
Hey, folks, this is live radio, man.
I don't have anything for that. Well, let me check one more time here.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it either.
We got Everett High School from somewhere else, not around here.
Want to get all the area teams that could potentially get into the playoffs, and Everett is one of them. 33rd in Division II heading into play tonight.
Nope, nothing for me.
Keep looking here. Ovid Elsie, 28-27 over Standish Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic win for Ovid Elsie. Travis Long and his Marauders in the playoffs once again.
Nope, I got nothing else. Sorry.
No.
I searched and I refreshed and I checked all my sources.
You know what's going to happen. As soon as we get off the air,
yep.
it's exactly what's going to happen.
That happens all the time. But
just know that.
We can't just sit here all night, bro.
We're not going to do that. It's already past 10 o'clock. Final thoughts, Doc. Just an awesome performance by Jace Clarizio tonight. Battling injuries all season long and showed why he's one of the best players in the area. 200 let's try that again. Unofficially, 292 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. That was the number one story tonight.
Yeah, the speed was huge for East Lansing. The run game was there the entire night. Nearly 400 total yards of rushing offense for East Lansing. Didn't need to pass the ball. Only went 2 for 4. We talked about the things. Turnover, penalties. Got to clean that kind of stuff up. Can't have that in the playoffs. You can't be doing those kind of things, and extracurricular stuff isn't going to work
you
for you.
You do that in the playoffs, there's only one thing that's going to happen to you. You get beat.
Yes, yep. Somebody's going to beat you because you're going to find an opponent that's going to take advantage of every single one of those mistakes.
Ding, ding, ding.
And you'll be out of the playoffs as soon as you know it. But East Lansing, huge win, getting the CAAC Blue title, their first one since the shortened season of 2020. And looking great and heading in the right direction as they get to playoff time, too. For Grand Ledge, a tough one to lose here at home on senior night, but still a solid squad. Having Bonet back at quarterback helps you out a lot because of his athleticism. And more than likely going to be on the road for a playoff game, but still a chance to get a win.
With their offensive attack, who knows?
Yep.
You never know.
If they shore up their run defense, they got a chance.
They do. That's going to do it for us here. Got to thank Jessica Gibbons and Beanie Howell and Nathan Vandenberg for helping us get on the air tonight. Appreciate their help tonight and all season long. Coming up next week, more than likely, this time next week, 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff from somewhere in the mid-Michigan area. We don't know because we don't know the matchups yet. We will chat after the matchups are made public on Sunday night, and then when the kickoff times are announced on Monday morning, probably before 12 noon, probably. We'll let you know on Stout on Sports if that's the case. We will make a final decision. Then I will text you, even though you'll be working, but that's part of the deal.
Yep.
You know what? When we get this time of the year, that's part of the deal. So thank you for listening all night long. We thank our great sponsors, Jeff Metz and Doubting Industries and the Lansing Sports Commission. So for our great sponsors, Doubting Industries and the Lansing Sports Commission, for Nathan Vandenberg, for Jessica Gibbons, for Beanie Howell, and for my broadcast partner, Eric Doc Love. I'm Brock Palmbush. Thank you for listening to Doubting Industries' presentation of high school football. Again, the final score, the East Lansing Trojans 35, the Grand Ledge Comets 21. Good night, everybody. We will talk to you very likely next Friday night.